take over at Benfica after the dismissal of Bruno Lage. Portuguese football journalist Sergio Cristianis has told talkSPORT there's a feeling over there he's past his best.
I think particularly Roma, Fenerbahce, even Spurs, although he had the chance to play the final and he couldn't do it, the cup final, League Cup final, the cup final.
Yeah.
And so there is this feeling that is not the old Mourinho anymore.
Mourinho's first Champions League game back at Benfica would see him return to Stamford Bridge live on talkSPORT 2 a week on Tuesday. Chris Wilder is another man who's zipped up his boots and gone back to his roots. The new Blades boss spoke exclusively to White and Jordan this morning, and Jim asked him if he ever thought of telling the Blades hierarchy to do one.
Maybe at another club, but not at this club, Jim. I think, I've got a unique relationship and history with it. I don't think anybody else has got that, really, from ball boy, supporter, player, manager a couple of times. So a unique relationship with supporters and everybody connected to the club.
And Thomas Partey has pleaded not guilty to charges of rape and sexual assault. He's appeared in court in London just 12 hours after playing for Villarreal at Tottenham. Partey's trial is set for November next year.
talkSPORT News.
Donald Trump's touchdown at Windsor Castle. He's met the King to commence his state visit, and a man's been charged with allegedly blackmailing people working in Westminster. More from Amelia at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Today it's raining tyres in our centres, including top-notch brands like Pirelli. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Breezy afternoon for most of us, with rain lingering in southern and western areas, drier and brighter elsewhere.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans that's done by the fans.
Yes! Goal! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Andy, please tell us what's coming up.
Well, coming up over the next 3 hours, Jermaine Pennant and Neil Mellor join us to talk Arsenal, Liverpool and more. Former Benfica defender Scott Minto gives us his take on Jose's
imminent. I can't. I do struggle with that word, imminent
return to the Stadium of Light.
Is it the Stadio de Luth?
Probably.
Have you got time for a quick story about the Stadio de Luth?
Not really.
Okay.
And Grimsby goal-scoring hero.
Are you all right?
No. Jace Cabia tells us who he wants next in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, blimey. OK, we're also after your gags that backfired. Andy's got a lot of stories like that. And we'll chat to the man who'd rather travel 1,000 miles to support a German second division team than watch Manchester United.
Yes, you've probably got a point. There's all this plus. Former Chelsea, Cov and Scotland striker David Speedy chats about his autobiography. Tim Vickery brings us the latest from South America. And rapper and Spurs fan AJ Tracy pops in.
4 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Andy, do you want a little story about the Stadium of Light?
Yes, why not?
Benfica Stadium of Light, not the one in Sunderland. Neil Simpson, fine sports photographer, went over once when I was editing a magazine, and he went over there to take some pictures. And I said, "Do you get much from the Benfica game?" And he said, "Not great." He said, "The light's not particularly good in there."
That doesn't make sense, does it?
You have to ask the question why they named it that from a photographer's point.
Very good point.
Afternoon, Wooly, if you're still out there listening today. Anyway, it is, 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy. I think I've already done that. And, what a game I watched.
Oh, tremendous.
Wall-to-wall entertainment. I'd like to apologise. I mean, look, if you can't play well, win. And I suppose we did that.
Yeah.
But it was pretty... it was pretty dismal fare, really, over the course.
Funny game. I think sometimes when you score early, it doesn't, you don't know whether to stick or twist. And there was a feeling of that. They were in front, a ridiculous. I mean, just when you're playing away from home, that's the last thing you need to do.
Because I'm more or less where I sit, I'm sort of right behind that. So we see it go into the keeper's body, and I'm about to say, that wasn't a bad ball in. Maybe Richie could have got in front of the keeper as opposed to diving behind him. And then suddenly the ball's in the net. It was fairly nuts.
Oh, yeah. No, it was bonkers.
It's we're all saying last night, it's a bit frustrating. They just lack a bit of a creative spark. And they've got Xavi Simons there, and he's out on the left getting chalk on his boots a lot of the time. You think, is that the best place to put him? No one's coming deep. The way that Maddison comes deep and gets the ball off the defenders or off the defensive midfield players sometimes and makes something happen, I just think he should be playing 10. We just lacked a bit of a spark.
I think the trouble is Frank is an intrinsically defensive coach. I do.
Yeah. I mean, look, he did need to sort
Brentford, that. And he had Mbuemo and he had Visser, so.
Well, he's got good attacking options. And like you said, he had Damsgaard and used him very effectively. He was a great. I mean, look, it's a work in progress. I'm not expecting Thomas Frank to have the whole thing sorted out in 5 minutes. And they won. And that's the important thing. But, it wasn't a full house last night. There was quite a few seats empty at the top, maybe a reflection of the fact that the ticket prices were a bit too hefty.
Rich.
The Tottenham Supporters Trust did say to the club, look, if you make that 10, 15 quid cheaper, you'll fill the place out and get a better atmosphere.
And it was the Amazon Prime game. And the trouble with the Amazon Prime games is, when you come to a break or you fancy checking about other, you can't, because it takes you 2 minutes to get back into it.
It takes you 2 minutes.
It takes anybody 2 minutes.
Anybody over the age of 70.
Rubbish, honestly.
It takes 2 minutes.
And so you end up watching the ads. I watched the half-time. I felt a bit for Gabby last night, really. It wasn't the liveliest half-time chat. It wasn't red-hot soccer chat.
No. There wasn't a lot to talk about.
No, I suppose there wasn't really. Pepe, though, fascinates me. I mean, talk about a nearly player.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 times he was... just wide.
Got in good positions, put one wide. I mean, he did play. He was the best. He was one of the best players on the pitch last night, which again wasn't.
Van der Ven and Romero. Great.
Oh yeah,
they are the key.
I'm letting them off the hook, but barring 1 or 2 Romero errant passes where he was just trying to force it because he had no one to pass.
It was amazing set piece in the second half where both teams were just giving it back to each other. It was like
it's like that. Remember that bit in the Lauren Hardy film with James Finlayson? I gave it to him and he gave it to her and you gave it. You're all nuts. It was just two teams desperate to give each other the ball and then chase back. Thomas Frank alluded to that.
Anyway, I can tell I was a bit bored because I wrote this down.
Yeah,
there was a foul by a Spurs player on Akamak. What does he wear when it rains? I'm bored.
That's what can happen with a football match when you're very bored. And well done, the Arsenal.
Said he fell asleep at half time.
He did. That's right. He'd watched his team win. We're going to have a chat with Jermaine Pennant very shortly. See what he makes of finishers.
He does come up with some nonsense.
It's a bit Brentian, isn't it? Really?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll have a chat with Jermaine Pennant very shortly about that and see what he made of it. I thought that Martinelli though, it's that second touch which is brilliant because he's still got a fair bit of work to do and he's got some ground to cover. About that second touch, just puts it on a plate where it's really, really good finish.
Like we said the other day, there's no missing pieces in their jigsaw now. And
they did make quite hard work of it last night, though.
They did a little bit, but winning any win away from home in the Champions League is a very
of course it is. Yeah. And it was, it was a pretty hostile.
I mean, you basically need to win all your home games and a couple of draws, and then you'll be through to the next section.
So you go. I'm going to watch your game tonight. I've got a feeling
it'll be a good game, but I think. It's difficult, what a place to go to start.
Yeah, it should be entertaining.
Yeah, it's hard play. I mean, they're attacking weapons. You've got Elise on one side, Luis Diaz on the other side, Kane, and then you've got Jackson to come on. They can hurt you, but
sure.
And we are defensively a bit.
Well, you got Palmer will start.
Yeah, I think in midfield, I think we can take that, and I think we can score. But whether we, draw would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, it would be. You just
I just want to say, Vincent Kompany though, he's been talking about Raheem Sterling. He hopes Raheem Sterling can revive his career. Well, why don't you buy him then?
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Tremendous.
We'll talk about this later on. Uli Hoeneß is at it again. You hear what he's saying about. He said Bayern are basically going into this tournament like Hoffenheim would. I mean. Isn't he supposed to be a Bayern legend? Why is he talking them down all the time?
Incredibly irritating person.
Yeah, they should just sit down and shut up. They should say to him. Yeah. Anyway,
very much.
Our old mate Omid Jalili's in the Times Diary today, and it's relating to the death of the fine actor Robert Redford yesterday. And the Times had a couple of stories today about Robert Redford. And Omid worked with him. Were you aware of this, Andy?
Yeah.
Many years ago in a film. They were in, what film was it? Does it say what the film?
Omid's done quite a few Hollywood movies.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that. But anyway, what he used to do, rather than just kind of blow smoke up the backside of these superstars, he'd deliberately say a thing that they weren't in to see how they reacted. And I think he's admitted in the past, he could well be listening today, he's admitted in the past that not all the egos could take it. So but he said, the one he did to Robert Redford when he was on set, he said, I'm a big fan of yours. You were the best thing in Hawaii 5-0. To which Robert Redford, God bless him, replied, thank you. You were great in Dr. Zhivago, but you've let yourself go.
Oh, big Omar Sharif.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's good.
Anyway, we just thought sometimes a gag can backfire, can't it? You can say something, just to say a little line to someone, you think it's clearly a joke.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't mean an actual joke getting nothing. I'm just saying a line that people take. It's the old, what do you think, I'm funny? I amuse you? A bit like when it goes a bit Goodfellas. So let us know if you've had one of those. And Omid got away with that, but he didn't always, he said. But if you've had one of those, in what circumstances, let us know. talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089. Tweet to TSH&J 03717 223344.
Do you want a bit from David Mellor's column?
What is it? Does he write about sport or is it
No, I try to turn it to sport. He writes about opera.
Does he?
Yes, he's writing this week about, I can't remember, the Malmo Opera Orchestra.
Yeah.
He says, as a man of Dorset, so he's obviously a Bournemouth fan, really.
Yeah.
All are well dispatched by the Swedish soprano, Sarah Svitlicki.
Oh.
You mean Swedish striker?
Yeah. Dick Svitlicki. Yeah.
The Malmo Orchestra, conducted by the highly experienced John Jensen.
Yeah.
It's my little
does
game.
He do it? But does he try and
turn it back?
Does he do it like he did the phone in?
Oh, yeah.
What's her name? The lady Svitlicki.
Svitlicki.
And joining us now is the soprano Svana Svitlicki, and I see that's the fourth time you have the fourth time you have sung that aria this season. Do you do it like that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Fair enough, though.
Quite worked out why they did that. Jermaine Pennant joins us to kick us off. Jace KB is back. I think we're a bit of a good luck charm. We spoke to him after Grimsby beat Manchester United.
The scenes were odd, though, weren't they? Just all the Grimsby fans, and that was it.
Well, the West Sheffield Wednesday fans boycotting the game. It was 6,000 Grimsby fans, so great for them.
Great for them.
Jace is an Arsenal fan.
They should get a very good draw next time, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the teams that left.
Premier League type.
So I think he'd like to go to the Emirates. I'm guessing that's what he'll say. We'll find out. We'll have a chat with him later. And Jose's back. Busted flush, some people in Portugal feel, but it looks like he's on his way back to Benfica. It's quite. I mean, when you look at how he first left Benfica, almost 25 years to the day, in pretty similar circumstances.
And of course, people have observed that his first game in the Champions League is back at Chelsea, but he always gets
of course, we should do. Blimey,
yeah.
Scott Minto, formerly of Chelsea and Benfica, joining us for a chat very, very shortly. So that's all to come. Jermaine coming up next, and then we will be chatting to Neil Mellor a little bit later on. But we'll do a bit of Arsenal, Liverpool, more with Jermaine in a few moments' time. We're here with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences. That.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Wednesday 0, Grimsby Town 1. The voyaging Mariners, they're through to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. Not quite the glory of their previous conquest over Manchester United. The winning goal coming from, well, gone down as Cabia's goal. And overall, I think Grimsby just deserved it against a very young and raw Sheffield Wednesday team.
Yes, 3,000 Wednesday fans, you said, went along. But, I mean, it's a big old ground, Hillsborough, and I think, you know, they're making their protest and want to line the pockets of the current owner, which I completely understand. But 6,000 Grimsby fans couldn't resist it, went along, cheering their team on. And were able to, as Alan was just saying there in his report, able to get a result against a pretty inexperienced Wednesday side. We spoke to Jace Cabey, who scored against Manchester United after that game. And maybe a bit of a good luck charm. So if they're going to stay in the competition, we thought we'd better get
all down to us.
Get him back. Oh, definitely down to us. Good afternoon, Jays.
Hi, how are you? You okay?
Yeah. Look, congratulations
well
again.
done.
Another good result. It must have felt like a home game at times last night. The atmosphere, from your point of view, you must have been buzzing off of it.
Yeah, it was remarkable, to be honest. The fans, you know, they backed us home and away, and seeing that in all his glory last night, you know, 6,000 of them packing out that stand behind the goal. It was, as you said, it felt a bit like a home game, and they made noise from minute 1 to minute 90, whatever it was, and it was incredible.
A very different experience to Manchester United, where maybe, you know, understandably somebody got a bit starry-eyed but still got the result. But this was a kind of rookie Sheffield Wednesday side. It was a different challenge, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, you know, it's probably even harder challenge for us because, you know, obviously we've seen their team and they had a few young lads in there, but they had some really experienced players on the bench that found themselves on the pitch towards the end when they were chasing the game. But yeah, we've seen, obviously, it's a bit unfortunate with what's happening with that club at the minute. It's a massive club and, you know, it's a great club, but we kind of used that to our advantage last night, and thankfully we got through.
The draw will be what it is, but would you rather play big club like Arsenal, or would you like to have a sort of more winnable type tie?
To be honest, I don't really mind either. I am an Arsenal fan, so I wouldn't mind a trip to the Emirates, but as you said, it's kind of a catch-22 because you want to keep progressing through this competition. So whatever draw it is, you know, I'm excited for it, and fingers crossed we get through regardless.
When are they doing the draw, Jace? Because some of the teams are playing next week, the sides that played in Europe, aren't they? So are they doing the draw? You got to wait a whole week, or are they doing it tonight?
Yeah, no, I think we have to wait a week until the last few games are played. So it'll be a bit of a long wait, but I look forward to it. I'll be watching.
If Lincoln beat Chelsea, it could be Grimsby Lincoln. That'd be quite exciting.
Yeah. That's probably neither of them want that, I wouldn't think. Yeah, that's true. Is it, what from a league point of view, is this run proving a bit of a distraction or not? How's it? Is it sort of feeling, or is it all giving you a bit of a spring in your step? I mean, you're doing pretty well in the league. You're sort of up towards the top of the table.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so. Obviously, after the United game, you know, we had a little bit of a slip against Bristol Rovers, but I think even that game we deserved to win it. It was just a bit of fatigue setting in the group that day, and unfortunately we never got the result. But no, like everyone, we have a big squad. You know, everyone wants to play every game. It's great to be in these competitions for boys that haven't been getting as much minutes in the league. But I wouldn't say it's been a distraction. I think if anything, it's been a bit of a how would I put it? It's been a bit of a driving force for us all just to keep going and smashing it.
You did have that moment, I'm sure, when the situation around a player that played in the game against Manchester United, and there were some. I know the club were issued a fine, but I think a few people were worried that Manchester United complained and you might get.
No, they were good United. They said they're not going to take that away from them.
They didn't. But was there a little bit of concern when you first heard that they were looking at the tie again?
To be honest, I didn't really look into that too much. It's just one of them things. As players, we was just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But I'm glad we're obviously still in the competition, and I'm glad we're through the next round. But it is what it is. That's kind of left the hierarchy of the club rather than the players.
I think,
so I don't really know too much on it.
Well, it wouldn't have been his fault because it's nothing to do with him. But Clark Adua must have been a relieved man. You wouldn't want to have been at the centre of that. But anyway, thankfully, that wasn't an issue, and you're able to move on. So I suppose the best of both worlds is Arsenal at your place, because then they might rest a few up. Well, they're going to have to anyway because of Champions League. It's all in the midst of Champions League.
Yeah, but they're second 11 this season.
Yeah, I know they're second. This is the thing. You're probably loving it in some ways until they rock up at your place with sort of Mosquera and a really good second 11. You're probably loving the fact that this season they've got real strength in depth, Arsenal, haven't they?
Yeah, they're looking really good. I mean, they're really convincing win on the weekend. Obviously signed some big players. Eze, as you said there, Mosquera, people like that. You know, obviously Saliba got injured. So Mosquera's come in and he's done a really good job. And, you know, no matter where you're looking at team, there's ridiculous amounts of quality. And hopefully this year might be the year. But, you know, Liverpool look strong, Chelsea look good, City were really good against United on the weekend. So we might have another kind of traditional Premier League season where it's a bit closer, no one runs away with it. But let's just wait and see, hoping for some silverware for the Gunners this year anyway.
The manager wants Tottenham, he said, didn't he?
Who does?
The Grimsby manager.
Oh, Dave Artell. Does he really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Dunno,
well, they beat us once many years ago. We lost at Grimsby, yeah. I remember that.
I wouldn't mind Tottenham if we was going to beat them.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be so keen. What was I going to say? It was Arsenal. Oh, yeah. Yorker has had a cracking cut on the back of his head. Did you see that? He had to wear that.
Yeah. I saw him being bandaged up.
Yeah, to wear that. I just thought I didn't know what that had happened until I got home and watched the highlights, and I thought he was just wearing some sort of funky headband. But I suppose as a front man, you've got to stick your head in there. Those sort of things are going to happen, aren't they? Yeah. I guess. Have you picked up your fair few of those stitches along the way?
Yeah, especially last season playing the National League, I have to be stitched up twice. So,
what was that? Elbows or clash of heads?
One was an elbow, gashed my eyebrow, and then the other one was actually a kick right on my ear, and it split my ear open, so I had to get that stitched up as well.
You played for Truro City, as you say, in the National League. What do you find the difference is? Is there much difference between National League and League Two, and then going on to play teams like United in the Cup?
Yeah, there is a massive difference, to be honest. Just in terms of the speed of play, the intensity of games, you know, I feel like there's that little bit more of an edge to every game.
Yeah.
In the Football League, I feel like it means that little bit more, probably because you have kind of big fan bases and big crowds who are really like, they want you to get over the line, and we want to get over the line for them. So that's probably a key factor in that. But obviously the National League, brilliant. You know, it's competitive in its own way, and it's prepared me for this moment that I'm in right now.
Well, hopefully the next time we talk to you, would have won at the Emirates. So I'll certainly be in a good mood, even if you won't. So thank you.
Would be.
Yeah. Cheers, Jace. Good stuff. Thanks very much. All the best. Well done.
See you. Bye-bye.
Jace Cabia there from Grimsby.
Good story.
Another goal for him last night as they beat Sheffield Wednesday, and the draw next week. It is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Scott Minto joins us. Jose's heading back to Benfica 25 years on. We'll get Scott's take on that. He keeps an eye on what goes on at his old club. And a match up with Chelsea that could be quite interesting at the end of the month, potentially.
He's kind of lost his magic. I just wonder if Scott can put his finger on why. You know, he's such a great manager, but it just hasn't quite worked, has it, in the past few years?
Well, we'll talk to Scott about that in a few moments' time after the news headlines.
We're told Jose Mourinho could be unveiled as Benfica's new head coach as early as tomorrow. The editor-in-chief of Portuguese newspaper Record also says Bruno Lage's sacking is not a big surprise. Sergio Cristinas told White and Jordan Benfica's under-pressure president Rui Costa is trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
A big name, a huge name that the fans respect a lot, that will somehow protect and be a shield for him and for his re-election.
Mourinho's first Champions League game at Benfica would be at Stamford Bridge, live on talkSPORT a week on Tuesday. Meanwhile, following Chris Wilder's second homecoming, he's spoken exclusively to White and Jordan on his championship aims at Sheffield United.
First and foremost now is to win a game of football after the disappointing start that has happened, and to win a host of games to try and put yourself in contention in around January and see where it goes. But yeah, listen, we're on the back foot a little bit, but it's a tough division.
Elsewhere, at the World Athletics Championships out in Tokyo, Dina Asher-Smith is through to the semi-finals of the 200 metres, along with Amy Hunt and Daryl Neater. Jake Whiteman and Josh Kerr will be hoping for GB's first medals in the 1500 metres this afternoon. And Thomas Partey's pleaded not guilty to charges of rape and sexual assault. He's appeared in court in London just 12 hours after playing for Villarreal at Spurs.
With his first touches onto it, he's beyond the defender, he's into the area, Martinelli scores! Trossard, can he get the shot in? He does! The Matchday 1 ends in victory. Athletic Bilbao 0, Arsenal 2.
Sheffield Wednesday 0, Grimsby Town 1. The voyaging Mariners, they're through to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup.
Upsteps Damsgaard, right-footed, slides it into the bottom corner. Brentford are through. The Bees make it to round 4.
Imaku right-footed, it's saved! And Crystal Palace have beaten their South London rivals.
Tottenham 1, Villarreal 0. Villarreal goalkeeper Luis Junior. He's ended up pushing the ball into his own net.
Yeah, he sure did. We're going to have a chat with Tim Vickery about that later on.
That was a surprise. Brentford equalising with a long throw.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
A bit of a shocker, wasn't it?
Oh, dear.
Well, all the talk really post the Arsenal game is Mikel Arteta talking about not wanting to disappoint players. And, of course, his two subs scored. Well, I say subs, of course. Finishers is what Mikel calls them.
If players left out, he's left out. There's no point saying, oh, you're a finisher. You go, oh, all right, then, boss, that's fine. They're not going to be happy, are they?
If you've not heard it yet, this is what he had to say.
Yes, what an amazing place to play football. I must say, one of the best atmospheres that I've played. A really tough match. We knew that the first 20-25 minutes it was going to be really tough, especially the way they play, so intense, a lot of direct play, a lot of duels. And I think after that we started to grow throughout the game, and the second half we were much more fluent, dominant, and looked much more of a threat. And at the end, the finishers, they made the impact for us to win the game, and overall very happy.
Of course, it's a rugby term. It's not his own. It's something that they use in the world of rugby union predominantly. But anyway...
Perhaps he might start speaking like Eddie Jones.
Let's get the thought of someone who, I don't know, if he was ever a finisher over the course of his career. I suppose everybody is to an extent.
Yeah.
Jermaine Pennant joins us. Are you, Jermaine?
Hi, gents. You okay?
Yeah, we're not so bad. So where do you stand on this? Finishers as opposed to subs? I think you just answered that.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. I've got some finishers on the bench. You just got subs. You've got players who are not starting in your first 11 because you've got better players out there. It's just the same as every team. We've got good players who can come on, who can make a difference when the opposition's a little bit lagging, a little bit tired. If you've got players like Martinelli with absolute pace, then you're going to benefit from it. But saying I've got finishers, I'm not sure where he's going with that one.
As a player, and if you are on the bench, obviously you always want to start games. You know, it's not going to be enough for someone to say, look, you're going to be so important for us if you get a chance to. Yeah.
These teams are playing about 60 games. Surely you think to yourself, I can't play in every game.
No, they're going to have to rotate. But, I mean, I'm sure you never liked being on the bench over the years.
No, hating being on the bench. That was one of my downfalls. I couldn't really handle being on the bench. But I guess when you get that chance, you do come on, it's your, wherever it's how many minutes you get, the sole focus is, right, let me make a big impact so I'm on the manager's mind for the next game. Let me change this game some way, some shape or form to go, oh, I need that in my starting 11. Where Martinez came on, made a little difference, scored a goal. Now, Arteta's got a decision to make. Oh, shall I start him or do I keep him on the bench?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just got depth. That's what Arsenal have got this year. They've got, previously, if Saliba had been out, Arsenal would have been ripe for a defence.
We were saying, look, yesterday...
Mascara has been brilliant.
You don't want to single someone out, but if you're an Arsenal fan, you're thinking, oh, blimey, you got 3 weeks of Kivior now, and you don't necessarily want that, but there doesn't feel like that drop-off at the moment because of the depth in the squad, Jermaine.
No, and they've done well in the transfer window. They've got some quality players in. Like you said, when you're losing players like Saka, you're not relying on kids anymore. You've got players who have Premier League experience, Martinelli, then you've got be able to bring Trossard on, and you just touched on there. You've got Kivior, where you think, oh, that could be a weak link in the defence now. Saliba's gone, but Mascara's come in and he's just literally filled in Saliba's boot. So they've done very well in the transfer market, and we spoke about teams having depth in their squad, how important it is to go, 60 plus games.
I suppose for Martinelli and Ezra, it'll be horses for courses, depending on the opposition. And like you said, there's so many matches, they're going to get chances. But we've got this thing with Javi Simons. I was saying earlier on, Jermaine, that I don't want to see him out on the left. I think we could do with using him as a 10. And I'm just wondering about Ezra as well, that it looks like he's shaping up to be the sort of left of that 3 when... he had a licence to roam at Palace. That's when you kind of tend to see him at his best.
They could definitely put him in the middle 3. They've got Zubimendi, Mourinho and Rice.
Yeah, and they played Mourinho last night in that position. What do you make of that? Would you like to see Eze playing a bit more centrally?
Listen, I think you can put Eze on anywhere on the pitch and he's going to, be a star. But this does frustrates me with teams is why if you buy a player like Eze, why are you taking away his absolute strength and not play him in his best position to get the absolute best out of him? You saw him at Palace and what damage he does when he's roaming, when he's in that number 10 slot. Rather than playing a defensive midfielder like Mourinho there, put Eze there, put Martinelli on the left, put someone else on there. I like to see players playing their strongest positions to get the best out of the team. It's a confusing one.
Because he didn't have his best night last. I mean, I only saw highlights because I was at the Tottenham game, but from what I understand, he didn't have his greatest game. He went off in the end.
It was his first Champions League game.
Yeah, it was his first Champions League game, but I suppose we're going to expect a bit of a period of adjustment after he's been at Palace for such a long time.
Yeah, for sure. New team, new style of play, new philosophy. Knowing the strengths and weakness of your players around you, it does take time. We're seeing it with Florian Wirtz. He's still trying to get pace of the Premier League in his new team. But again, just play him in his main position. That's how you're going to get the best out of Eze, and that's what's going to benefit your team. You put him in the number 10 role in that game, I think he would have dominated it. He would have created a lot of chances for you, which we've seen with Palace. He's not a winger. He can do it. He can play that role. He can do a good job. But why would you not play him in a role that he can do an even better job at?
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. Liverpool Atletico tonight, another of your old clubs. You imagine it being a tight affair. As a neutral, I think I will watch Bayern
Chelsea. If
Liverpool
score early, it could be quite a good game, but otherwise it'd probably be...
We know what Atletico are like. We know they set up away from home, and this feels like another 1-0. We could be wrong. They might put 5 past them. Now Isak's in the team, but how are you seeing this one?
Yeah, you're right. I think the two factors come into play. If Liverpool can get an early goal then I think it could be, you know, a lot of goals in it. But if it goes, you know, 20 minutes in and they've settled in, and then we start seeing that low block that teams seem to do, and we know how Simeone plays, he likes to play very defensively away from home, and they're very good at it. And Liverpool are going to have to try and break that down again, like we've seen at Burnley. Can they do it? But a team like Atletico Madrid are not going to just sit back with 11 men. They also want to go and win the game. So there will be a little bit of spaces here and there. But I do see it being a battle, low scoring game if there's not an early goal.
How do you expect them to line up with Isak in the team? How do you expect him to play? I mean, it looks like he's going to get half a game tonight. That's what Arne Slot said. How do you expect him to be fit into the team?
Look, he's a fantastic player. I think everyone around the world, especially Liverpool fans, are looking forward to him getting out there at Anfield. He's going to be, you know, his traditional position, not messing about down the 9. And the quality he's got, I think we'll see an instant impact. I think we'll see a good performance. We understand he's not fully match fit, so you know we've got to take that with a pinch of salt. But the quality that he's got, we will see why Liverpool paid such a high fee, and I'm sure he's going to showcase his skills tonight.
Arne Slot's been quite honest about Liverpool's start. He said it surprised him that they've won 4 games. He didn't think they would because of all the different players coming in. And they have been quite, you know, in a way getting away with it. So, you know, you wouldn't want to be doing that against Atletico Madrid. I think they're a team that could punish you if you don't get a goal. You know, well, saying that, it probably will be 85th minute 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, you got to start looking at, is it actually luck? You know, you once or twice, you can go, oh, yeah, that's very lucky. But it just shows the spirit that they believe doesn't matter how many minutes are on the clock, that they can go on and win a game. They've got the capability of doing that. And if you keep knocking at the door, keep trying, eventually something will come off and you will succeed. But yeah, Atletico Madrid are a different talent, different beast. It's the Champions League. All levels go up a little bit. But again, it's Anfield. On Anfield nights in Europe, there's just something special, and it's probably one of the hardest places to go.
Well, you can have your say on that tonight, Jermaine, because you're on the sports bar, aren't you, with Rory Jennings tonight at 10 after the matches?
Yes, I am. So I'm hoping that it's a good show and I get a good result. Otherwise, it's going to be a somber one for me.
Well, the other way looking at it, of course, if Bayern beat Chelsea, you can do Has Anyone Seen on Rory.
If that goes in, it's going to be an amazing show. Guys, please tune in because he's going to get it.
Cheers, Jermaine. Thanks very much.
I won't be listening.
Have a good show.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't listen to the sports bars we've lost. You know, I can't listen to Jason. He drives. He knows what he does. He pushes the buttons.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Rory and Jermaine tonight from 10 after our 2 live games: Liverpool versus Atletico and Bayern Munich v Chelsea, which I'm expecting. Yeah, I think your game should be a very entertaining one. You're not seeing it like that?
No, not really.
Now, however you watch your telly, you can watch talkSPORT from Samsung and LG TVs to Fire TV, Chromecast and Apple TV, or just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV, or even on Prime Video, although it takes Andy 2 minutes to get off of it. talkSPORT live on your screen as well as your speakers. Now, believe it or not, despite it being nearly Christmas, England are still playing cricket sort of in this vicinity. They're in Ireland. Today, the first of 3 T20. Let's be honest, the county championship hasn't finished yet, has it? Gale Force
I think we needed to play a few more T20.
Yeah, I think we certainly did.
White ball cricket this summer.
But Guy Swindles is watching for talkSPORT. Hi, Guy.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Yeah, it does seem as if it's a little bit after the Lord Mayor's show, but certainly the players involved don't seem to be playing like that. The score 23 without loss for Ireland after they were put in by England's youngest ever captain, Jacob Bethell, who has taken over from Harry Brook for this. Rehan Ahmed also into the team, as is Jamie Overton, as they're the 2 other changes from the last pile of T20s against South Africa. So decent start so far. Paul Sterling's moved on to 12, just hit the first 6 of the innings. 24 without loss in the 4th, Ireland, after they were put in.
So what's the weather like, Guy? Because you never know. This island this time of year, as Danny Kelly tells us, we're going to get a game, you think, or we're going to have reduced overs?
What is weird is you'd have thought Ireland, middle of September, the weather's rubbish in England. It's glorious sunshine.
Good.
We're going to easily get the whole game in. The forecast is wonderful for the rest of the day. It's a full crowd as well in Malahide. So it looks as if it's actually going to be a really, really good afternoon.
Excellent. Good news. We'll be back to you later, Guy. Thanks very much.
Whenever Ireland play England, they play like their lives absolutely dependent on it, and England just sort of think, well, this is a bit of a pain.
Well, they're going to want it more. Let's see what happens. We'll keep in touch with Guy throughout the afternoon. But we are going to chat very shortly to somebody who was a Manchester United fan, I think a regular at Old Trafford, but sort of fell out of love with it. I mean, to be honest, this is pre-Ruben Amorim, and now supports the second division German team and travels to watch them.
Great.
That's how bad it's got.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be chatting to him shortly. You're listening to Hawksbee and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defences.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Now, don't miss your last chance to enter our biggest competition ever. £25,000 cash and tickets to see Oasis live at Wembley on Saturday, the 27th of September, 2025. You have until 9 a.m. this Friday to enter, and here's how.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word OASIS to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Now, our next guest used to make a regular journey from... I think we are doing this now, aren't we? I'm looking at the producer. Yes, we are. Yeah. It's been a bit of a change in the order. Suddenly, I'm going to say our next guest used to drive from Cheltenham to watch Manchester United, and Scott Minto is going to pop up. He's coming on later. Our next guest did drive to Old Trafford from Cheltenham on a regular basis to watch his beloved Manchester United back in the day. But he has swapped that for a 1,000-mile fortnightly round trip to Bochum, who are in the second division in Germany. Why? Yeah. Well, let's find out. Let's speak to the man in question, Ryan Williams. Good afternoon, Ryan.
Hello, guten Tag.
Oh, guten Tag.
Oh, yes, guten Tag.
Fluent now, of course. I can see you're sitting there in a little shrine to Bochum as well. They've really got under your skin, haven't they?
It's not just a shrine to Bochum. This is actually many a German club. This wasn't a pre-planned thing. I didn't wake up one night and think, right, I've had it with United. I'm supporting this random second division German team. There was a little bit of ground hopping to get to this stage. So, yeah, this is a few different clubs.
What was the attraction of German football then that sort of took you on that journey before you settled on Bochum?
So, obviously, we know the Euros were in Germany last summer. I went over there on a bit of a ground hopping trip just to see some of the stadiums England might be playing at. Along the way, I just got connecting with people, went to a few different games, and it completely changed my whole outlook on football, fandom, fan culture. The fact that you can buy cheap beer and actually drink your beer whilst watching football was a perk in itself. And just the whole general atmosphere was such a contrast to what at times can be quite a toxic Premier League atmosphere, especially at Old Trafford, of course.
I didn't realise it's such an old club, Bochum. You know, they're a 177-year-old club. They were formed in 1848.
I think it Ryan does. He probably,
that's incredible, isn't it? That's like almost at the origins of organised football.
So I've got to put that into perspective. A lot of German football clubs were originally like athletics clubs. The football division didn't begin until like the early 20th century.
Yeah, 1848. We can see it on the scarf.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been a great quiz question, would it, really, I suppose, with this in the scarf? So you met some people who were Bochum fans, and they like you said, the fan experience generally is better. You kind of feel fans get a better deal. They're thought more of. They're considered more than they are in Premier League football. You've certainly found that, have you?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't actively looking to leave Manchester United. I wasn't watching the poor form and thinking I need a way out. It was all very natural and organic. And as you guys will know, the 50+1 rule in Germany allows clubs to have more control, or allows fans to have more control of their clubs, which for the most part is good in terms of atmosphere and everything I've mentioned. We know competitively, when they come up against Premier League clubs, it means their resources are somewhat limited. But from a match-going perspective, from a guy who prefers to watch football in the stands, it's a whole another level compared to top-flight English football. I think our lower league scene's good, but Premier League especially.
Are you a bit of a celebrity then among some of the Bochum fans? Are they sort of chuffed? You make all the effort to come from Cheltenham to watch them play every other week?
Well, words got round. I don't pay for hotels or anything. They're lovely hospitality.
Wow.
They put me up. You just have to kind of walk around a little bit, and you know that a nice German beer is coming your way. There's perks to it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yeah.
And as you gave us a good and tag, so I'm not going to balance it or measure it on that. But what's your German like? Is it coming on?
Ich spreche ein bisschen. I speak a little bit. Not so much, because everybody comes up to
You
me.
went a bit Steve McLaren there, Ryan. Yeah, you got to watch that. Speaking English like Steve McLaren, he's not speaking German.
Do you ever leave before the end?
Yeah, yeah.
Just, I don't know, people do, but you've gone all that way. It'll be a bit mad.
Imagine that leaving. You always leave 10 minutes before the end. See you, Hans. See you in a fortnight, Hans. All the best, like you people used to. See you, George. Yeah. So, although it's all going on at Bochum, haven't they just sacked the coach?
So, guys, yeah, if anyone's thinking, right, he's just sacked off United because he's had enough of them doing terribly. Yeah. My first full season last year, we finished bottom of the Bundesliga. We got relegated. This season, we're in the second division. We've lost 4 out of the first 5 games. As you mentioned a couple of days ago, our manager's been sacked, along with some of the backroom staff. This Saturday, I obviously will be going to the away game against Nuremberg, who are bottom of the second division at the moment. Oh. So if there's ever time for a new manager bounce, it is this weekend.
I love the fact you go to the away games as well.
Yeah, Bochum home and away.
That's incredible.
Can you see this, guys? I don't know if you can see.
Look at that. There's your season ticket.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Away season ticket. Yeah.
Away.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
That is commitment. Fantastic.
Tremendous.
Well, enjoy the rest of the season. Good to talk to you, Ryan. Thanks very much for joining us.
Dankeschön.
There we are. There's Ryan Williams.
I wonder if you'll go back if United suddenly, have a renaissance.
I don't know. I think it's got under his skin, isn't it? I mean, it's nice. Like he said, the fan experience. I can understand
a lot of people say that about
why you would enjoy it, and you think nobody's ripping the backside out you on ticket prices, on food, on drink. You don't feel like you're a customer. You don't feel like you're having your pockets emptied while you stand there. Really, you do sometimes as a Premier League fan, don't you? It's like you're standing still and the chairman's come up and he's rifling through your pockets. That's what it feels like sometimes. Have you got any change in there? No, it's £61 the ticket, not 60 quid. Where's that other pound? I can completely understand now that you'd get...
Oh, it'll all change now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. You say that now.
It won't.
We're going to chat to author Brendan Madden, who's popping in, a Spanish football expert. His new book, Once Upon a Time in La Liga. We'll be chatting to him. AJ Tracy pops in as well. Big Spurs fan. We'll get his take on last night, the rapper and musician and producer. And David Speedy, the great David Speedy of Scotland, Chelsea, Cov, Blackburn, Liverpool fame, will join us for a chat. His autobiography's out. That's all to come in the second hour. Plus Scott Minto joining us with his take on Jose returning to Benfica. could be some long-awaited medals up for grabs in the World Championships in Tokyo. Michael Waydock's across that for us, and we'll update you if there's some good news. But Scott Minto joining us yet. Next to talk about Jose after Ben Fletcher with the sports headlines.
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon. Liverpool fans hoping to welcome Trent back to Anfield in November might be left disappointed. Real Madrid have confirmed he injured his hamstring early on in the win over Marseille. There are fears he could be out for up to 8 weeks. We're told Jose Mourinho could be unveiled as Benfica's new head coach as early as tomorrow. The editor-in-chief of Portuguese newspaper Record also said Bruno Lage's sacking is not a big surprise. Sergio Cristianis told talkSPORT Benfica's under-pressure president Rui Costa is trying to pull a rabbit out the hat.
A big name, a huge name that the fans respect a lot, that will somehow protect and be a shield for him and for his re-election.
Mourinho's first Champions League game back at Benfica would be at Stamford Bridge, live on talkSPORT 2 a week on Tuesday. Meanwhile, following Chris Wilder's latest homecoming, he's exclusively told talkSPORT his championship aims at Bramall Lane.
First and foremost now is to win a game of football after the disappointing start that's happened, and to win a host of games to try and put yourself in contention in around January and see where it goes. But listen, we're on the back foot a little bit, but it's a tough division.
The Blades are at home to Charlton this Saturday afternoon, live on talkSPORT 2. Our very own Danny Murphy says Arteta relabelling subs as finishers helps keep the squad together, and a lot of players are all right with starting on the bench these days.
I think players are more okay with being a squad player because they're so well compensated, and it's just become that way. There will still be players who'll be fuming. If you look at Mo Salah, if he comes off in the 90th minute in a game, he's still fuming. That's just his mentality. So some players have still got that.
Liverpool and Chelsea are both in action this evening, live across the talkSPORT network.
talkSPORT News.
Donald Trump's state visit is officially underway, and the suspect in Madeleine McCann's disappearance has been released from a German prison. There's more from Amelia at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Buy 2 or more Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres and claim Bridgestone's massive 20,000 mileage guarantee. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
A breezy afternoon for most of us, with rain lingering in southern and western areas, drier and brighter elsewhere.
Aiming towards Didier Drogba, who gets a header in, and he scores in the final few minutes of the European Cup final. It's Bayern Munich 1, Chelsea 1.
Chelsea haven't played in the Champions League since the 22-23 season.
Europe is really important for them in terms of their ego.
Drogba steps up, right-footed, and wins the European Cup for Chelsea. Absolutely extraordinary.
Bayern on any given day can take the game away from you in the first half.
Elise with a cross towards Harry Kane, and Harry Kane heads Bayern Munich into an early lead.
Having said that, they're a very good Bayern side, but it doesn't feel like they're the greatest Bayern side.
Chelsea can now say European trophy collection completed it, mate.
I promise you, that group of players will be better by a marginal difference from winning that trophy.
The increased competition, the fact that you can't really have 2 separate squads for it, how do they deal with that? Chelsea are going to be asked that question very, very early on.
Yes, we bring you Bayern Munich Chelsea this evening on talkSPORT 2. And you've got some concerns defensively, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see.
Palmer will start, though, won't he?
I'd imagine so. He's very conservative, though, Maresca. If he thinks there's any chance of him, not lasting or not being fit, he won't start him.
It's interesting in Nathan Collins saying the other day that, the whole tempo of Chelsea changes the minute he comes on. He's that key.
But also Esteval wasn't playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he's been, just in his short time, I think he leads the league in travelling with the ball past.
Yeah. Will he play tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it should make for an exciting
He's a
game.
tremendous player.
We're going to talk about Chelsea tonight, but an interesting sort of sidebar is that Jose could be returning at the Bridge at the end of this month with Benfica. The parallels of how he got the job first time and how he lost the job first time. It's very interesting. We've got a presidential race on at the moment. And he got the job at Benfica, and a new president kind of came in, or a new president said, well, when I come in, I'm going to bring this man in to manage the team. Jose kind of called their bluff and left after a fairly short time. It's not almost 25 years to the day since he was working there before. Scott Minto played for both Chelsea and Benfica and joins us now. Hi, Scott.
Afternoon, chaps. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's interesting hearing the word there from the Portuguese expert in the bulletin saying that there's a feeling that Jose has a little bit of a busted flush, hasn't quite got the mojo he used to have. How do you feel about that?
Well, maybe you can answer that as well in terms of the both of you, in terms of Spurs and Chelsea second time around. Look, he hasn't quite got the mojo that he had before. And I do wonder whether it's a little bit political in terms of this particular appointment. I think Bruno Lage would have been sacked anyway last season. They fell just short, but that's not good enough for Benfica. But with the presidential elections, I mean, I was at Benfica back in '97 when the new elections came in and one of the presidents-elect said, I'm going to bring in Graham Souness. He won, he did, and we went on a really good run and finished second in the end and qualified for the Champions League. So, you know, it is a very sort of political thing out there. It's not owned by one person, it's owned by the socios. Is it...
Oh, go on, Scott, sorry.
No, I was going to say, sorry, Andy. So is it a question of Rui Costa, who is under pressure, who hasn't won the trophies under his presidency in the way that Benfica fans quite simply demand, is bringing in a big name ahead of next month's elections?
It could be. What do you think has gone wrong with Mourinho, though? Because tactically, you could say, I've heard people say he's yesterday's man, this sort of thing, but his tactics are not really different from Nuno or Marco Silva. He's a typical Portuguese manager. They've been influenced by him, of course. And you just wonder why it's not worked for him at certain clubs. You could argue he did a good job at United, considering what's happened since then. But, you know, it's not the old Jose, that sort of invincibility that he had about him, something special, the special one.
Yeah, and when he was, you know, hiding in baskets ahead of Champions League games and, you know, coming out and giving the kind of criticism and the mind games as well, people were sort of saying, oh, isn't he charismatic? It's all about winning games, you know, because the moment he stops winning, then suddenly he becomes a bitter old man. But the bottom line is, I don't want to say football has passed him by. I got the utmost respect for Jose Mourinho, but that kind of just sit back and try and counter up until maybe the last season or so has not worked too well. It's all about progressive, open football, and that's what something like Pep Guardiola and even Jurgen Klopp has been doing. Do you know what, though? I wouldn't be against him going to Manchester United, let alone to Benfica, because they are too open, they are too easy to beat, and I think he's someone who, if you look back now, has arguably done the best job at Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson came in. I think he needs a real meaty sort of case and meaty club to get his teeth stuck into. Benfica, I can tell you, when I first went there, the first training session in the training ground, there were 5,000 people there. We had one game at the Stadio de Luz in pre-season against Lazio. There was 80,000 people there to see who would represent their team for the rest of the season. It's an incredibly big club, it really is. But look, we'll see whether this is a short-term appointment, whether he can come back into the Premier League. But you know, I genuinely would never rule out Mourinho and his tactics at all.
I watched the highlights of last night. They were 2-0 up after 16 minutes and absolutely coasting, and their crowd were loving it.
I know,
and then to lose to Carabao in that fashion at home, they were booed off. You look at their remaining games. They've got to play Newcastle. They've got to play, which will be interesting because of his to Bobby Robson connections, Jose. Yeah. Chelsea, Leverkusen, Ajax, Juve, Napoli. It's a tough run of games. I mean, Jose will relish that. But having lost last night at home, that's a bad start for them. There will be an expectation that they make it through to the next stage. Maybe not in the top 8, but certainly in the shake-up, Benfica.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of clubs, Paul, that perhaps are thinking, OK, we might not necessarily finish the top 8. We might have to go through the playoffs. But actually, you know, we're quite happy to do that. I think Benfica are one of them. You know, if that hadn't have happened last night, to be 2-0 up at home at the Luge and lose 3-2 with the greatest of respect to Carabao, you know, that's probably been the reason why Bruno Lage has got the sack. But, you know, they haven't done too well in recent years. The last week they drew to Santa Clara. That quite simply can't happen as well. So without these things, then maybe Mourinho wouldn't have got the job in the first place. He'll look at this as a great opportunity. He's got great affiliation with Newcastle just because of Sir Bobby Robson, as you said, and obviously Chelsea. I'm doing that game for talkSPORT. I cannot wait. I couldn't wait before it. I cannot wait even more now.
I was saying he'll get a good reception from the crowd, though. He's incredibly popular still at the Bridge. People respect what he did, and not surprising, really.
Yeah, I think, I remember when he went back to the Bridge when he was Manchester United manager, and a lot of the fans, or some of the fans, were kind of booing him. It was more pantomime booing, wasn't it? I think all the Chelsea fans realise exactly what that guy has done for their club, that turned them into trying to get into the Champions League on a regular basis to, really should have been a Champions League winner, but certainly a Premier League winner. So I think he'll get, because it's not another English club, I think he'll get a fantastic reception. And look, they've got some decent players, so he'll have them really difficult to beat. We'll have to wait and see whether Chelsea can break them down or not.
News has emerged that Raheem Sterling, who's not going to get any game time at Chelsea, the manager has told him that, is training alone at 8 o'clock at night, obviously still picking up.
Yeah, how does he manage on that 300 grand a week?
Well, look, the club gave him a contract and he's entitled to sort of see it out. But it's not a helpful situation for him.
That I reckon that Chelsea must have paid at least 200 grand of his wages last week. And I think they would have paid at least 2/3 of what he's on, And I think from his point of view, I don't understand.
What, for a loan?
Yeah, for a loan. He had options, and he didn't take them. And I think that's rather a pity, actually.
From the outside, football fans look at it and think, well, you're earning a fortune, so, not a great deal of sympathy. But as someone who was a pro, do you have any kind of sympathy for someone in that situation?
Yeah, look, I don't know what options he had. And if he had decent options, then, it's down to him. And I don't have any sympathy for him. But if the options weren't any options, or they just weren't very good, and it was quite obvious that they weren't very good and he'd have to move his whole family over, then I think we're talking about a guy who I've got the utmost respect for as a player and a person. I've never met him before, but the way he's represented his clubs and his country as well, both on and off the pitch, and all the stuff that he's had to go through. So I think there are some players out there that I don't have sympathy for at all. I'd have to find out who the options were as to whether I decide whether I do or not with Raheem Sterling. But what I would say is I think he's been a fantastic professional and ambassador for whichever club he's played for, but especially country as well. So I think it's a real shame now the transfer window is closed that he's training on his own. I personally don't think that's needed.
Just finally, Scott, going into the Bayern game tonight, as Andy says, he's got a few concerns defensively. Do you share those?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see whether Bayern have a put in a long throw or not, and whether we can defend it well enough. Look, I like Tosin, and I like Trevor Chalobah as well. I like Reece James. We'll have to wait and see whether he starts. And I like Marc Cucurella, who came on. I think Chelsea looked a lot better in the second half of that game, didn't they, at the G-Tech, than they did in the first. And I think Cole Palmer coming off the bench, just listening to you guys and saying that, he does just... There's something about him. He's still, it's not as if he's like this really quick winger, but once he gets the ball, everyone's off their seats and thinking he just plays the game at his own pace. He's that good. He has to start. And look, I wouldn't expect, I'm not even looking for a win in Munich. I'd more than settle for a draw right now. And if Chelsea can get that, that's a really good start to the Champions League.
Thanks, Scott. We'll catch up with you soon. All the best.
Cheers, guys.
There we are. There's Scott Minto, their former Chelsea defender. Another former Chelsea player is going to be alongside Sam Manterface for tonight's game between Bayern and Chelsea. That's Andy Townsend. That's on talkSPORT 2 from 8. Adrian Durham with you from Anfield at 7 o'clock start on the show. Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton, your commentary team for Liverpool v Atletico this evening. And the Sports Bar with Jermaine Pennant and Rory Jennings at 10 to have your say after tonight's games. AJ Tracy joining us in the studio. Rapper, singer, producer and Tottenham fan. And Brendan Madden's going to be here very shortly, Spanish football expert, chat about his new book and talk a bit of Spanish football. And David Speedy joining us before 3 as well. We're here with Toolstation, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next stop, Toolstation.
core of defences. That.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about trophies. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Good afternoon, it's Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. There is British interest in the 1500 metres men's final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, so we'll keep an eye on that for you very shortly. But we're going to talk a bit of Spanish football now. A new book, Once Upon a Time in La Liga, Spanish Football's Forgotten Tales. Brendan Madden is the author, and he's joined us in the studio. Hi, Brendan.
How you doing? Thanks.
Good, thanks.
Yeah,
pleasure. Yeah. So this, I mean, interesting sort of book. It's a sort of compendium of sort of quite a lot of stories from the world of Spanish football that a lot of people wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly that. So as the title, Once Upon a Time in La Liga suggests, it's a collection of stories. There's 18 stories in total, and actually, the way I've structured it, you can sort of read it in any order you want. You could jump in if one takes your fancy. Someone texted me the other day and said actually they're reading it backwards. They like the story about Cardiff Carnival at the end, and they sort of decided to go backwards. But yeah, it's as you know, Spanish football gives us a lot of these stories, and but this is an attempt to go beyond. We all know sort of Messi and the napkin story, Figo going to Real Madrid, but this is trying to find a few stories, a few hidden gems beyond that. And obviously, you guys know Spanish football, Spanish history in the last 50 years has been quite a change. So anytime we go back, you find these little threads. That
these stories, I mean, some are kind of quite light-hearted, but some are serious around the sort of Franco regime and the difficulties around that and the way.
So we kick off the first chapter of the book is the story about two guys who actually protested against the last time the Franco regime used the death penalty. It's actually 50 years coming up. The anniversary of this game, and also the anniversary of Franco's death's coming up 50 years. So the repercussions of that for them. There's other stories in there, like there's a Celta Vigo director who sort of led a group of mothers in a sort of fight against the Galician drug cartels, and she won, essentially. No one else wanted to take them on apart from her. So stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, so the man that gave us the phrase tiki-taka you talk about.
Yeah,
don't you?
He's an incredible character. So, yeah, basically there's a phrase that made it all its way from the commentary booths of Spain to the Oxford English Dictionary now.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people hate the phrase. It's become something that people use to pejoratively now. But the story behind the guy, the commentator, Andres Montez, is unbelievable. He was essentially brought up by a woman who answered a advert in the newspaper.
Wow.
Sort of abandoned by his mother was like a famous pianist who went back to Cuba.
Blimey.
Dad sort of disappeared at an early age, and he sort of built his way through basketball, would you believe, and then sort of ended up being sort of the main football commentator. And he had this sort of way of commentating that a lot of people didn't like, but a lot of people in basketball was amazing. In football world, it sort of clashed with some of the sort of orthodoxies, but a lot of nicknames and a lot of phrases, and tiki-taka was one of them.
It used to be irritating, tiki-taka. Xavi to Iniesta to biscuits back to Xavi.
He had nicknames for all those guys as well.
Yeah.
Drove you mad. I mean, obviously they were brilliant, but on the other hand, it was a bit dull.
There's a Johan Cruyff story in there as well.
Yeah, probably the weirdest 10 games of Johan Cruyff's story career. He came back from America and ended up playing for Levante in the second division for 10 games, and all sorts of things sort of went on there with ticket arrangements and not clicking with his teammates. And that sort of ended in ignominy. But it's quite an interesting one because he doesn't barely acknowledge it happened, but Levante have kind of left with this legacy of having one of the world's best, most famous ever players having played for him.
Yeah. What's your connection to Spanish football? How have you got so interested in it and writing about it?
Yeah, kind of a bit weird because I started off in the sort of analytics, sort of betting industry, and in that industry, they're always looking for someone daft enough to stay in the office till 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday night.
I see, okay.
And that person ended up being me. So I sort of did that for sort of best part of 20 years. Really got into it. I was listening to a lot of Spanish radio, Spanish TV, and learned the language. And then when it came to sort of leave that world, I thought I'd dip my toe into a bit of writing, and amazingly, it's come to this.
Oh, wow.
Good, yeah.
And do you follow a Spanish team? Is there somebody you support?
No, I wouldn't say specifically. Probably got a soft spot for the Basque teams. I was in Bilbao a few weeks ago and took in an athletic game, kind of like the Real Sociedad as well. But no, sort of anyone really.
You've got a pal who's got involvement with Villarreal, and you were among the very small amount of Villarreal fans in their bit of the Tottenham Stadium last night.
Yeah, it's quite funny. A mate of mine is a friend of the reserve goalkeeper at Villarreal, so he got us tickets to the Villarreal in last night. And as you saw, it was a small pocket of us, but. He obviously desperate for his cousin to get in the team, and what happened after 4 minutes with one of the most bizarre own goals we've ever seen.
No.
So everyone in our section had their hands on their heads, and he's sort of punching the air.
We're just going to come back to Brendan in a moment, because the men's 1500 metre final has ended. It was a pretty dramatic finish. Michael Wadop was watching for talkSPORT, and Jake Whiteman pipped at the line, Michael.
Yeah, a medal, the first medal of these championships for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's a silver medal for Jake Whiteman in a time of 3:34.12. Nada of Portugal wins the race. 3:34.10 was his winning time. Chariot of Kenya winning the bronze medal, 3:34.25. So Jake Whiteman winning a silver. You'll remember he won gold in Oregon in 2022. That was the delayed World Championships. It was not good, though, for Josh Kerr. With about 600 metres to go, Josh Kerr seemingly picked up some kind of injury and went backwards. He hobbled on to finish the race, and he did complete it in a time of 3:35.74. Neil Gawley just ahead of him, the other Scot in the race, 3:35.56. But the good news is, from Tokyo, the first medal for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, it's a silver medal, and Jake Whiteman has won it in the men's 1500 metres.
Thank you, Michael. I think putting a sheen on it, because Whiteman was in the lead and just caught at the line.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have felt goal was in his hand.
Can't believe he's won it, the fella, has he?
No. Shame about Josh Kerr. We saw him there sort of limping. He has clearly done his hamstring or his calf. Caught at the line there. But look, it's a medal. It's the first medal at the games for Team GB. So good news. How are you seeing the Spanish challenge, Brendan, this year in the Champions League? We saw Real Madrid got a result despite Carabao getting sent off last night. Barca are going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting week actually with the Spanish and English teams, 4 of them playing each other. Real Madrid obviously always seem to survive in the Champions League by whatever means. Barcelona probably strong this year. Actually, an interesting game this week, I think, from the perspective of the book, is sort of a bit of a rematch between Liverpool and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And you guys will remember Michael Robinson, won't you?
Sure, yeah.
And there's a chapter in the book where I talk about how massive he became. We all remember him from
I love the show.
Yeah, it was
incredible. Yeah, exactly. And but just how always find it hard to talk to people about how massive he was over there.
He was the kind of Gary Lineker of. He's no longer with us, sadly. Is he?
And actually, this was his last game. So do you remember that?
Yes,
the comeback for. That weird game just before COVID, where Atletico mounted the comeback at Anfield in extra time, that actually ended up being the last game Michael went to. And a few weeks later, he sadly died. So there's a chapter on him in the book. And actually, there's some lovely sort of footage of him that I reference in the book where he's listening to You'll Never Walk Alone just before kickoff. And his co-commentator for years, Carlos Martinez, is there. And you could just see Carlos looking at him quite wistful, misty-eyed, knowing that this might be the last time sort of Michael hears that anthem that he was so attached to. So, certainly tonight with people listening in Spain, and that song, You'll Never Walk Alone,
they'll think of him.
There'll be a lot of people in Spain thinking of Michael tonight.
Excellent. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming in.
No, thanks, guys.
Brendan Madden's book, it's called Once Upon a Time in La Liga, Spanish Football's Forgotten Tales. It's published by Pitch, and it's out now. Good to see you. Thank you. AJ Tracy joining us in the studio very shortly. We're going to talk about Spurs, reflect on last night, see what he's up to musically, and then the great David Speedy joining us to talk about his autobiography.
We're told Jose Mourinho could be unveiled as Benfica's new head coach as early as tomorrow. The editor-in-chief of Portuguese newspaper Record also says Bruno Lage's sacking is not a big surprise. Sergio Cristinas told White and Jordan Benfica's under-pressure president Rui Costa is trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
A big name, a huge name that the fans respect a lot, that will somehow protect and be a shield for him and for his re-election.
Mourinho's first Champions League game at Benfica would be at Stamford Bridge, live on talkSPORT a week on Tuesday. Meanwhile, following Chris Wilder's second homecoming, he's spoken exclusively to White and Jordan on his championship aims at Sheffield United.
First and foremost now is to win a game of football after the disappointing start that has happened, and to win a host of games to try and put yourself in contention in around January and see where it goes. But listen, we're on the back foot a little bit, but it's a tough division.
Elsewhere, at the World Athletics Championships out in Tokyo, Dina Asher-Smith is through to the semi-finals of the 200 metres, along with Amy Hunt and Daryl Neater. Jake Whiteman and Josh Kerr will be hoping for GB's first medals in the 1500 metres this afternoon. And Thomas Partey's pleaded not guilty to charges of rape and sexual assault. He's appeared in court in London just 12 hours after playing for Villarreal at Spurs.
It's the Hyperman set. AJ Tracy live and direct. DJ mash up the deck. The microphone champ is live and direct. And again, it's the Hyperman set. AJ Tracy live and direct. DJ mash up the deck.
I knocked that up before the show.
Yeah, that's good. There's a clue to who has joined us in the studio probably there. It is rapper, singer, producer AJ Tracy. Good afternoon, AJ. How are you?
How you doing?
Good.
I got to say, I really enjoyed your series with your cousin.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
With Zoo.
Rich Eats, was it?
Yeah, Rich Flavours.
Rich Flavours.
That's the one.
It,
that's the one.
Basically went around the world trying the most expensive food you could find.
We did. He was my most expensive friend, so I thought he could, foot the bill for everything.
Well, when the phone call came in from him, Sandy, do you fancy doing this?
That's literally how it went, by the way. He called me and just said, do you fancy doing this? I was like, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Why not? I'm not a TV guy, but I'll try it. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go, yeah.
Brilliant. You going to do any more? Was that a one-off?
I think I don't want to say it's a one-off. I'm a musician, but I'll try. If there's an opportunity to eat free food at the expense of someone else, then please call me. Please do call me.
So Ladbroke Grove there, and that was where you were brought up.
It
so
is indeed.
You're a fellow Spurs fan like me. So why? Because that sort of West
QPR
London
is the nearest.
That is the nearest. That's my local QPR.
So what was the Spurs connection?
My dad's from Tottenham.
Right.
From there. Born and raised. So that's fair enough. You know what I'm saying? I was born and he put me in that shirt and it's been doom and gloom ever since. Now I'm joking.
I don't think anybody has to make an excuse for being a Tottenham fan.
No, that's right. But so growing up in West London, where there probably was a lot of QPR and Chelsea and Arsenal.
Not really Arsenal. Chelsea and QPR. Loads of QPR though. A lot of QPR.
Did you take a bit of stick then, being the lone Tottenham fan?
Nah, not really, to be honest. Nah, not really. Because like QPR, I got a soft spot for QPR, but they can't really make fun of like what we were doing. Chelsea, I got a lot of stick from the Chelsea fans, to be fair.
Yeah.
Why aren't you a Chelsea fan? You're from West London. I'm like, bro, my dad's from Tottenham. That's what it is.
You haven't really.
I think that's fair. My mum's from Cardiff, so it's better Tottenham than Cardiff.
Yeah.
That's definitely
well, you were there last night as well.
I was indeed.
Yeah.
I was.
It wasn't the best £61 I've ever spent on a ticket for a football match. It was a bit of a dull night, but they won.
Yeah. That's what I basically said. I said it wasn't a great watch, but the job got done. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the points, to be honest.
That's the thing in the Champions League. Nobody will remember that game.
Exactly.
If you qualify and all that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How did you look? I really struggled with last season. I just hated last season, even though it ended in a trophy, which was wonderful, just the way it unfolded. I just almost checked out.
Yeah. I think a lot of us did, to be fair. I think a lot of us did.
I mean, it was just relentlessly dismal. I mean, what the injuries and the form and everything else that was going on.
Forest fans will find out what that was.
No, I don't know. No, it's a different set of players.
I think for match-going fans, it's a bit, sad when you make the effort to go there. You spend your money, you spend your time, and then, you don't get a good result, then it's okay, if you lose, it's all right, as long as everyone's trying. You feel like as long as there's progress and everyone's trying, you don't mind. It's only when you see the same thing week after week, then it's a bit like, why am I wasting my time here? But that's what we do, bro. We're Spurs fans. We're signed up for this. So.
Indeed, yeah, that's right.
He's a brilliant coach, Thomas Frank.
He is. Good tactician.
Brentford, very much.
Good tactician.
But I do think Spurs do need a bit of creativity. Obviously, Maddison and Kulusevski are a big miss.
Yeah,
they are a big miss. I think we should probably play Simons in his correct position.
I was saying
that might help us a little bit.
I think he will.
But I was saying earlier on that I felt last night there was no one. We were all talking about it. All of us who sit together. No one was coming to kind of get the ball the way that Maddison does.
Yeah.
We saw Romero looking up. There was just nothing.
But he could have played Brennan Johnson on the left, and he could have played Simons in the 3. And
I think he wanted to be solid. I think it's been interesting. He wants to make them solid defensively. We saw what happened last year.
Yeah.
Tottenham aren't conceding a lot of goals.
True.
So maybe you think he is quite a defensive coach. You've watched a lot of him, haven't you? So.
But, while Van der Ven and Romero are fit, Spurs look great.
I agree. I agree.
Squad and
Van der Ven was brilliant.
I actually quite like Danzo as well. I think Danzo's quite solid, to be fair. I think he's a good, if someone's out and he steps in, I think he can get a job done. Obviously, Romero's a cut above. Van der Ven, amazing athlete. Just crazy player, can do everything. When they're both fit, then we're in the money. We're all right. So we've got to keep them fit. I do think Javi Simmons playing out on the left is not preferable.
Yeah.
But, Richarlison can also play on the left. I think could maybe swap them around a little bit, rejig, can always put Toe up front.
Well, when Solanke's back, maybe...
it's going to look very different. It'll look very different.
They'll do. I mean, also Solanke comes deeper, but I think if Solanke back, it's a good point, because for Everton, he played a lot on the left.
He did. He can play on the left, to be fair, he can. It wouldn't be my preference, but I'd rather have him there than someone who just doesn't play left at all.
Yeah.
I think we need creativity, like you said. Romero's really good at breaking lines from the back, but you need someone to give it to at the end of the day. There's got to be someone willing to receive it.
Cullen Moani got a little cameo.
He got small, isn't he?
He's about 6'1". He's not Voltemade.
He's a big lad.
He is, yeah.
I saw the interview and they were like looking up at him. He's a big lad. Yeah.
But he got booked. He got booked after about 4 seconds. That ref wasn't great though.
You're being nice saying that. That's nicely putting it. Yeah, he wasn't great.
Such a typical European ref, fussy and not great.
You got to let the game flow a little bit, man. You got to let the game flow, I think.
So we were told, someone told us that you love talking about football, and you can hear that.
I do love football. I love football. I'm not just a casual fan. I'm a diehard.
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Are you any good? Do you play a bit?
No, not really. I'm not great at football, I'll be honest. I used to play. Everyone used to play when they were younger. I used to play down the Westway by Labrador.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm all right with a 2-foot tackle. I'll take you out, but not much more than that. Yeah. Exactly, the flyover. Exactly. Many a games played there.
Very, very.
Have you worked? I was trying to think if you worked much Spurs in your songs. I mean, you did a cover of Flowers, didn't you? The old,
literally.
And you got Ndombele in there.
I did.
I remember
Just about. I did. And everyone was like, how's he managed that then?
That was about the high point of Ndombele's time at the club, really.
It's a shame, man. I think that's one of our greatest ever losses. Like Ndombele, he was unbelievable on the ball.
I know.
Like, I got to go and watch a few games during lockdown. Actually, I was lucky enough to be in the stadium during lockdown, and I'd watched him play, and it was just honestly, I'm not trying to exaggerate, one of the best players on the ball I've ever seen in my life. It was ridiculous.
Well, Tottenham players used to say that in training. He'd just do stuff he couldn't believe.
Insane.
But you've got to want it. You've got.
That's what it is, man. You got to want it. You got to want it.
The attitude wasn't there.
Yeah, it's the same in music. There's a lot of really talented people out there who are really good at music, but they just don't care for it. Yeah. That's what it is. You got to care.
What is the scene? I mean, there might be some people out there, because we know, there's a grassroots. There's people out there creating their own music. It's a pretty easy thing to be able to do now. But to get to the top, like you have, what are the secrets?
I think it's just hard work, man. Same as in any job. You got to put your head down and crack on. Don't let people knock you. Know your worth and just keep cracking on. I'll be honest, because every time you put a new song out, you're going to be a little bit anxious. Do people like the music? Am I going in the right direction? But as long as you keep focused and you make good music and you try and maintain positive attitudes, then I think you'll be all right, to be honest.
How did you start then, AJ? What was your kind of route into...
That's a good question. I was at my mate's house in Latimer Road, and he lived in like a hostel, like a youth hostel, and he had a Dulux paint tin with a microphone stand on it and a sock for like a pop shield.
Wow.
And I recorded my first song in there, and we uploaded it to SoundCloud, and I was like, look, if it gets a couple of plays, I'll make another one. If it does all right. And in like a week, he got like 1 million plays.
Wow.
And I had no promotion. I didn't have any social.
Just
I just
sort
got
of organic word.
I was about to say lucky. It's not luck, but maybe it's luck that it got in front of people. And the quality of the music carried it through.
Did someone champion that? I mean, or was that just word of mouth?
You know what? At the start, no one championed it, but then I started. So I've told this story a few times. I started going online. There was no LinkedIn at this point.
Yeah.
And I went online. I looked for all the DJs from all the big radio stations' emails. I found them, and I started just blasting out that song and being like, "Look, I'm a new rapper from West London. If you guys like it, then spin it." And then someone did.
When you talk about wanting it, that's what it is.
That's the difference.
That's wanting it. Yeah, that's wanting it. You can't just say you want something and not be proactive. You have to go and get it.
Because people found your music, but then there was something else that you had to do to make sure more people.
I think the main job is getting your music in front of people. If you believe you have a good product, you just need to market it. That's what it is. Getting in front of people is the hard part, I believe. As long as you're good at what you do. Obviously, if you're rubbish, then it might not work. Yeah.
So you were there last night. Your season ticket.
I'm a season ticket. Me and my little brother. That's kind of. I don't see him that much during the week, so that's where we bond.
Oh, that's nice.
We have a couple of beers and get down the game. Yeah.
What about Big Zoo? Does he like football?
Big Zoo, he's a Liverpool fan. He's a diehard Liverpool fan. And the last time we watched the game together was at Spurs, and Liverpool lost. A goal was disallowed by Diaz. I think the goal probably was a goal, to be honest. But I don't care.
That was.
I don't care. I actually don't care. I don't care.
That was the infamous last-minute winner, wasn't it?
Yeah. I loved it. And I just wound him up for the whole way home, and he doesn't want to watch a game ever again.
Brilliant.
So I mean, I'm just kind of think what's going to be a good season this season for Spurs. I mean,
a good season. That's just a good question. I think with the new additions and the way our coach sets up to play, it might be a bit crazy going out here, but I think 6th, 5th would be great for me. That's what I'd expect from a good season if everyone's fit.
They're definitely going to be top 6.
Yeah, it seems that
definitely is brave. Definitely is very brave.
Definitely. You think the way it looks? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's nice. Someone saying something nice about Spurs. That's cool.
You know, you've got City, Arsenal, and Liverpool nailed on.
Yep.
City, we don't know. They played brilliantly on Sunday.
I think we're beginning to know, aren't we? Well, they're not going to finish outside the top 6, are they?
No, they're probably not. Chelsea, again, they've got a few problems.
Chelsea are sleepers. They're the dark horse. I think Chelsea might finish higher than people think.
Yeah.
Depends. And Newcastle, now they've got strikers, they're going to be a factor.
Yeah. It's a tough.
What about Villa? How do you guys feel about Villa?
It's just
That's
a weird
the thing. I think Villa have fallen away a little bit. I think Manchester United don't look like they're going to.
United is a sad story because as a Tottenham fan, I don't have any rivalry with United. I just feel sorry for them. Like, they're a great club, their history is very deep. And I think what's going on right now is insane. I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
It's like they keep having chances to pivot and change, and they just don't take it.
I know.
It's a bit strange.
It's a weird situation there at the moment.
It is.
So musically, you've brought out some new music fairly recently, last couple of months, haven't you?
Yep. It's an album. It's called Don't Die Before You're Dead. And it basically just means the inverse, which is live while you're alive, enjoy your life, do what you love, go down the football. Yeah. And I thought, that's how I feel right now in my life. I'm 31 now. I've had a lot of good times, a lot of braggadocious, whatever, showing off. But now I've leveled out a little bit, and I feel like I'm very grateful for the walks in the park, spending time with my missus, going down the football with my brother. I just love enjoying life and doing things that I love doing. So.
And you enjoy doing this, talking about football. Are there other things you want to do?
Yeah, I think at some point I'll get my badges, and I might give it a whack.
Do you want to coach?
Maybe.
That's interesting.
Maybe. I like
Have you
football
started them yet?
I haven't started them, but Spurs have said to me if I want to do them, they'll have me down to go do them.
Do you sponsor a local team or anything?
I don't, but that's also something I'm thinking about. I'm also considering that. I'm just trying to get into the football world, and I think for me, I'm a student in the game, so I need to study, and I want to go in there knowledgeable. I don't want to go in there like, oh, look at me because I'm a rapper. I think I can now do this. It's not about that. It's about something that I love.
Surely that's a TV show. AJ Tracy, I can see you coaching a youth team. That would be
good. Yeah, that would be good.
Team in Ladbroke Grove United.
That'd be great. We've got some ballers down in Ladbroke Grove, I'll be honest. We've got some good ballers down there.
No way. Well, we know that. I mean, that's sort of cage football.
Yeah, that's where they're made.
The players have been produced over the years in that part of London.
Definitely.
So have you met Ezra along the way? Did you want him to?
You know what? I have met Ezra. I met him once. He was really nice, actually. Really nice guy. Cool guy. Like, very chilled, humble guy. I did want him at Spurs, of course.
I respected him for going to Arsenal.
Yeah, so did I.
I didn't have an issue.
I don't have a problem with that either. He's an Arsenal fan. That's fine. That's no problem. Of course he wants to go to Arsenal. I don't understand why everyone was so upset about it.
Yeah.
Like, I get, obviously, Spurs should have acted quicker. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if the club you want and you support wants you, then obviously you're going to go there.
And he'd been there before and he had unfinished business.
Gibbs White was an interesting one, though. That one was quite interesting.
But you nicked Simons from Chelsea, so you'd be happy.
Did we nick him? No, I don't think we did nick him. Because if he wanted to go to Chelsea, he would have.
No, I think it was more Chelsea.
Why did they decide not to?
Chelsea have infinite money.
They didn't know, but they limited to what they could spend, I think. So
they don't. You think you've missed out on a good one there, do you?
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Well,
good player.
Sorry, he's better than Buonanotte.
Well,
Buonanotte's a baller. I like Buonanotte.
No, he's a good player.
I like him.
He's good. He's a good young player, but he's not in that class, I don't think.
Well, AJ, we're going to play Westlife, one of your new songs.
Appreciate that.
And hopefully come and see us again.
Yeah, definitely.
That was fun. And get that TV show off the ground.
Thank you.
Hopefully someone's
listening. You might get a shot.
By the way, guys, just so you know, I'm actually a real avid fan. I always listen to you guys. You know
God bless you.
Whether I'm cooking the tea, driving the car, I always listen to you guys. So yeah, pleasure being here, man. Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
This is AJ Tracy, Westlife.
Needed a TLC, but she left like. Our destiny never had a child in shows from the south of the shore by the west line. Little Spice girl couldn't stop pouting. She rocked pigtails and she called man senpai. Five touch got a whole crib drowning.
He is an unlocker of defences.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
England are playing Ireland in Ireland in a T20, and Ireland are going quite well. Let's check in with...
just lost a wicket there.
Check in with Guy Swindles. Guy, they're doing all right, aren't they?
It's sort of going better than all right, really. Yes, they're 190 for 2 with 2 balls remaining of their 20 overs. Half centuries from Lorcan Tucker, who has just actually gone, Lorcan Tucker, 455. Went for the bouncer from Overton, flicked the glove. Butler took a decent catch. He has gone for 55 off just 36 balls, 3 4s and 4 6s. At the other end, Harry Tector, 61 off 36 balls, 6 4s and 2 6s. And England have looked a little bit tired. They won the toss, they put Ireland in, and literally with 1 ball to go, Ireland are 190 for 3. And although England scored 300 the other day in a T20, they'll be going pretty well indeed today to win this one if their batting is like their bowling. Ireland going well, 190 for 3 with 1 ball remaining.
Honestly, Ireland should only play England because that's the only team they can beat. Pointless.
We should let you know that Jake Whiteman won silver in the 1500 metre final. He was pipped at the line.
It was close, wasn't it?
It was a very close one thing. Poor old Josh Kerr, who'd been a guest in the studio a little while ago, pulled up with what could have been a hamstring or a calf or something, but it was some sort of muscle injury that did for him. He finished, but really right at the back of the field. But there we are, a medal at last at the World Athletics Championships. Andy, anything else you want to talk about?
I thought I had a Linford letter, but it was actually one written by somebody else.
Oh, okay, right. An inferior one.
It's definitely inferior.
Did you see that that Alexander Isak's barber kept in touch with him and talking about what it was like just before he left, when he didn't know whether he's going to... He's a big Newcastle fan, his barber. And he said he was trusted by Isak to make him look perfect ahead of deadline day. There must have been a temptation just to have adjusted the clippers and put a stripe down his head.
Black and white.
Yeah, it would have been a black and white stripe. Would have been the last time he'd ever cut his hair, but it would have been a pretty salty thing to do.
It's really about, people feel sorry for Ruben Amorim, because it's been a difficult time for him.
Yeah.
But if United were to sack him before a year's up, he's going to walk away with 12 million quid. That's why I never feel sorry for football managers. Their contracts are so cast iron, obviously you only get so many chances, and if you can't fail too often, but you
do sense that it's not going to do. The thing is, sometimes a manager leaves a job and it doesn't reputationally damage them. To an extent, Ange Postecoglou is an example of that. He would have been able to say to Marinakis, well, I had lots of injuries and I did with them a trophy, and kind of skirt over the fact that for a year and a half we lost lots of games and ultimately finished one above the relegation zone. But it didn't really affect him reputationally, and it probably wouldn't with Amorim either. He'd probably go back to Portugal and get another top job, wouldn't he, where his stock is high. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And did you see that the adolescence actress, brilliant she was in that, Erin Doherty?
Oh, yeah.
She was scouted by Chelsea before she became an actor.
I didn't know, but yes, I read that at the time.
She's brilliant. It's funny with the way telly is now. I watched this thing with her and Stephen Graham called 1,000 Blows. It was absolutely...
Oh, that was on Disney, wasn't it? About...
I've never met anybody else that's seen it.
Bare knuckle boxing,
I know.
wasn't it? Yeah.
It was so good. It was the sort of thing talkSPORT listeners would love. It was about that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of them have said they'll probably tell us if they've seen it.
From bare knuckle boxing to, proper boxing.
We were chatting earlier on to Ryan Williams, who's given up on Manchester United, now travels 1,000 miles from Cheltenham to Germany to watch Bochum in the German second division. This Phil from Swansea said a lot of your listeners would know about Bochum. They've probably been there if they work in the automotive components industry. I don't know how many automotive components industry listeners we've got.
Oh, we've got a lot.
They've got a big Opel assembly plant there, so some of them may have gone. I think Phil has gone. I don't know if he took in a game. I did mention that Omid Jalili used to like to break the ice with showbiz people. It was in the Times Diary today, where he'd kind of put them a bit off kilter and not massage their egos. He said to Robert Redford, of course, sadly died yesterday, "I'm a big fan of yours. You were the best thing in Hawaii 5-0." And rather than, and some of the stars, they didn't like that sort of thing. But Robert Redford said, "You were great in Dr. Zhivago, but you've let yourself go," which is a brilliant comeback. But we did ask earlier, and it's a bit of a dark one, but still, I sent a jokey message to someone who I hadn't spoken to in quite a while. Just like you do, I said, "Hi, Kev, you still alive?" 45 minutes later, I got a reply from his wife saying, "No, sorry, Derek, he passed away 2 weeks ago."
Oh, no.
Oh, blimey. Not my finest moment. You weren't to know, Derek, were you?
It's a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, a bit of a disaster. Sometimes those things can badly backfire. Are reserve goalkeepers finishers? Asked Vince.
Yeah, not really.
They tend not to be. I wonder if he can. Yeah, maybe he'll bring. That's what he'll do in one game. He'll kind of feel that it's a time. He'll bring Kepa on as a finisher. Bring him on for pens. What was his pens record like?
Oh no, terrible! He missed one, didn't he?
Not as good as Raya. No.
Yeah, no, not great. You see, I think these councils they come up with these ideas just to annoy people. This one
annoy you, clearly.
Well, it does really. This is a headline in the Times today. Ice cream van chimes cut to just 12 seconds.
Saw this, yeah.
Yeah. Children in South Cambridgeshire will hear less of the distinctive tinkle, as they say, as council officers look to trimming the time van. That's really going to solve the problem, the obesity problem with children? It's madness, isn't it? Well, you know, how many ice creams does a child buy per year, would you say? When you hear the ice cream?
I haven't really given it. Can we get the numbers for you?
I wouldn't imagine it's more than about 3.
Yeah.
You know, is that really necessary? All it does is just annoy people. So, there's no point even doing it.
I hadn't given it a lot of thought. I probably won't after that. And I think you're alone in being annoyed. You're not an ice cream man on the quiet. You'd be the very worst ice cream man.
I don't think
There'd be ice cream all up your arm. You wouldn't be able to turn the machine off. You'd be bad-tempered.
I could stick a 99. Don't worry about that.
Refusing to sell ice creams to kids. An absolute disaster.
Arsenal fans.
Blue is the colour you'd be playing. Blue is the colour as it drove round the streets.
I can't see.
They tend to be green sleeves. I mean, how far do they stray now? I mean, the new funky ice cream vans, do they play like Wonderwall and stuff? I don't know.
It's just the sound, the distinctive tinkling sound. We used to get excited about that. You know, that's a thrill. Whoa, as a kid.
Do you like a distinctive tinkling sound?
I do.
A man of your age,
it's what I hear all night.
Yeah. 5 or 6 times a night.
Probably.
Anyway, let's move on. David Speedy, the great David Speedy of Scotland, Chelsea, Cov fame, joins us. His autobiography is out. The David Speedy Story. They went Route 1 for the title.
Well, I bet it is really. Yeah.
David joins us very shortly. Neil Mellor's going to talk football. Bit of Liverpool ahead of tonight, live on talkSPORT against Atletico. And Tim Vickery will bring us all the big stories.
I'm going to call it Speedy by name, you know, and that sort of, and obviously Speedy by nature. But you know, that's
...
Yeah.
Okay. Just some of the things they've not called it.
I suppose so.
You can run all those past him in a few moments' time.
I don't think I will.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Score a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
I'm Ben Fletcher. Good afternoon. Confirmation from Real Madrid that Trent Alexander-Arnold injured his hamstring against Marseille last night. The 26-year-old was forced off after just 5 minutes. There are fears he could be out for up to 8 weeks, meaning he'd be a doubt for the reunion with Liverpool in November. We understand Jose Mourinho will take over at Benfica after the dismissal of Bruno Lage. Portuguese football journalist Sergio Crithnius has told talkSPORT there's a feeling over there the special one is past his best.
I think particularly Roma, Fenerbahce, even Spurs, although he had the chance to play the final and couldn't do it, the cup final, League Cup final, or the cup final.
Yeah.
And so there is this feeling that is not the old Mourinho anymore.
Would you believe it? Mourinho's first Champions League game back at Benfica would be at Stamford Bridge. You can hear that game live over on talkSPORT 2 a week on Tuesday. Next, Chris Wilder is another man who zipped up his boots and gone back to his roots. The returning Blades boss has exclusively told talkSPORT it was far from awkward when the owners came calling, just 88 days after they sacked him.
No issues at all. They're good guys. They want the club to do well. They've just gone down a path which they've said in their statement that maybe they weren't ready for, or they shouldn't have gone down. You know, for them to humility in terms of wanting to talk to me.
The Blades are at home to Charlton live on talkSPORT 2 this Saturday afternoon. Some other news in brief. Jake Whiteman's taken silver in Tokyo in the men's 1500 metres. Emma Raducanu's into round 2 at the Korea Open, beating Jacqueline Christian in straight sets. And Ireland have set England a victory target of 197 in the first T20 in Dublin. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Donald Trump's been given the largest guard of honour during his historic second state visit, and supply chain staff for Jaguar Land Rover are being told to claim universal credit after the company got hacked. There's more from Amelia at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Come rain or shine, wherever and whenever suits you with our mobile tyre fitting service. Now that will have you driving away happy every time. Conditions apply.
A breezy afternoon for most of us, dry and bright in many places, rain lingering in western and central areas.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We've had a lot of great Brazilian goalkeepers in recent years. Not great stories, of course, but unfortunately, Villarreal's Brazilian keeper didn't cover himself in glory.
No, not really.
His name may come up in our conversation with Tim Vickery, where we look at some of the big stories from around South America a little bit later on. And we'll also be bringing either Paddy's Challenge, and Neil Mellor will join us for a chat, former Liverpool player, of course, ahead of a commentary game tonight against Atletico Madrid. But before all of that, very timely, as sort of Chelsea, one of his old clubs, are in action. David Speedy has written his autobiography, The David Speedy Story, and he joins us now. David, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Did you have a few other titles? I mean, you've gone route one with your title, David. So did you have any other titles in mind, or did you think, that's it, that's exactly what it is, it's the David Speedy story, we're going with that?
No holds barred. Everything in it's true. A lot of what's happened in my career isn't in it for legal reasons.
Wow, okay.
But, yeah, I've had an eventful life in football, and I'm just glad to be still a part of it. Did the person, your co-author on this, who worked with you on the book, did they say, yeah, I'm not sure we can get away with it? I don't think we can say that, David. Did they have to check a few things? That's exactly what went on. Yeah. Mainly from Paul Hodgson, the author. Yeah. I dictated everything, and then he had to calm it down a little bit.
Was you settling a few scores? Was that what it was?
It was. I got a lot of things off my chest.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. But I'm a bit disappointed with a couple of things. Mick McCarthy wasn't best man at my wedding.
Right.
That was a mistake. It was can't remember his name. Michael Holiday, who's my best man.
Michael Oliver.
His nickname's obviously Doc.
Yes,
Holiday.
yeah, of course.
But Mick McCarthy was at the wedding, but he
Yeah.
wasn't my best man. I don't know how that got interpreted that way, but
Wow.
So
Like a
there you
Mick's speech. I don't know how long he would have done as a speech, Mick. I don't know. Yeah, that might have been quite interesting.
You played 162 times for Chelsea and more than any other club. And of course, in those days, it was the dual threat. And you and Kerry Dixon were that. And everybody thinks you can't think of one name without the other.
yeah, Pat Nevin as well.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah,
Of course. But
that
as
was
a
big
striking
part of
duo.
Yeah, we got on great, me and Kerry. We had it was like a telepathic, understanding with each other. And I did most of the running, though. I do have to say that. He did the scoring, I did the running.
Was it? You say telepathy. Was it almost like from day one? You just sort of hit it off. You just had this understanding.
No, that was down to the manager, John Neal. He called us in because we weren't getting on to start with because I wasn't really happy with me doing all the running and him doing nothing.
Yeah.
or practically nothing.
Yeah.
But John Neal called us in and said, "You don't know what you have got.
Wow.
He does that, you do this, and together you're magic." And then we both laughed, shook hands, and we were best of friends from that day to this.
Wow.
That's good management.
That's very good management. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. John Neal was brilliant.
Yeah.
He treated everybody different. He didn't just treat us all the same.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own personalities, and he was good at giving you a kick up the backside or talking to you privately.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is interesting. We've seen the long ball coming back. We've seen the long throw coming back. I wonder if we're going to see the twin strikers coming back.
Yeah, because often we see one up top, don't we? That's the way teams work. We don't really see two up top anymore. Would you like to see a bit more of that, David?
I actually struggle to watch a full game these days.
Wow.
It drives me nuts. I'd sooner watch the highlights. VAR, they don't even know how to run that. all they've got is some lines. You can tell whether somebody's offside or not. So I'm not a big fan of the new rules. I just don't get it. I think it's ruining our game.
Yeah, I know. I don't think you're alone in that. Now, unlike a lot of people, you didn't, go through the academy and just have a life in football. You had a life before football, and you were a coal miner, weren't you? You were down the mines.
10 months of hell.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
I was signed on as a youth player at Barnsley, but they didn't take me on as an apprentice, so I had to find work. So I ended up down the pit with my dad.
Wow.
And 10 months of that is enough for anybody. But I was still playing, and I got signed by Barnsley as a pro when I was 17. So I never did my apprenticeship. I was just because I was earning too much money at the pit, believe it or not.
Wow, yeah. I mean, did that spur you on because it was such hard work, such difficult work? That spurred you on to make it as a footballer?
No, I just loved the game. I mean, but it does make you try a bit harder.
Sure.
To get out. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that job to anybody. Going a mile underground and a couple of mile out under the earth.
Yeah,
basically.
Scary stuff. You were Kenny Dalglish's last signing at Liverpool. People often forget that, don't you? Had a little spell at the club before you went to Blackburn and had a good time there. So what are your memories of your time at Liverpool?
Oh, I loved it. I thought I'd done all right. I can't understand why he packed in. I scored on my debut at Old Trafford and then 2 against Everton the following Saturday. So it was a lot of pressure on Kenny.
Yeah.
That's probably in my book as well. I don't know whether they took that out. I've not actually read it all yet.
Oh, you've read the Mick McCarthy best man bit. Yeah, that's.
I've been that bit. Yeah, somebody told me about that.
Yeah,
so I put that right.
You've been very upfront and very honest about how much you struggled after football. You're not the only footballer to deal with that. Missing the lifestyle and the sort of day-to-day involvement in the game. You say you were severely depressed straight after you retired.
Yeah, when you finish with injury, it's really difficult to overcome.
and I found it very difficult. Started drinking too much. It was a nightmare for quite a while.
Yeah, well, you played, but you played for a long time, didn't you? After Leicester, you played.
Yeah, I played. That was just to sort of straighten my head out. I needed to do something to play. Ewan Roberts asked me to be his agent, so I went through all the procedures, and I was one of the very few licensed football agents in the world, not in the country, in the world. I had to put up a bond of 100 grand.
I remember that, yeah.
So that, I was one of the legal ones.
Yeah, of course. It's so what are you up to these days, David?
Very little apart from golf.
Oh, okay. And
I'm on my way to a charity event in Norfolk, Archway Events, Roger Day. They do a lot for charity, and I'll be meeting up with a lot of the lads down there. And then on Friday, I'll be doing a signing at the Tavern pub. I can't remember where the place is, but that's in Norfolk. Okay. So I'm down there for 3 days.
Nice one. And what's your golf like? What do you play off?
13.1. I used to be 6 till I had them COVID jabs. Killed me.
Oh, well, blimey. And who are the great golfers you play with, the great footballing golfers you encountered? Who are the guys that you played football with and played golf with who were very good?
They were very good. Matt Letizia is a good golfer.
Yeah.
He was playing last week at Tankersley in a charity golf day that we were all at. Oh. Who else is quite good? Lee Hendry.
Oh, okay.
We go to the Footballers Golf Classic every year, and he's always in the prizes, Lee. He's a great golfer.
Excellent. Well, look, we wish you well with the book, David.
Yeah, good luck, David.
All the best. Enjoy
much.
your golf. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Take care.
David Speedy there. The David Speedy story is available now, published by Pitch, and you get along at the Tavern down in Norfolk and get a signed copy and say hello to David. Now, talking of golf, the latest video is out now on the new talkSPORT Golf YouTube channel. This time, Jamie O'Hara is going head-to-head with his old gaffer, Dean Saunders. How could you get a round of golf in with Dean? He'll have a story.
Dean's a good player, though, I believe.
Yeah. Last time he played. And then he'll just go into a story. He'll be standing there for 5 minutes on the tee. Head over to the new talkSPORT Golf channel on YouTube now to see who comes out on top. He's a very good golfer, Dean. You're right, Dean, as I've heard. Plus, there's an exclusive giveaway for 2 lucky subscribers. Watch the video in full for all the details. We're going to play a little bit now. Is that right? Here we go.
It's all about the shaft, though, for me.
Well, the best way to describe it, it's the best shop you've ever been in your life. And it is. Drive for show, putt for dough. It's a disgrace. See that? He drove over my ball, eh? Not hard enough.
Sums him up, that does. Always short.
See in the trees there? Don't be giving it rabbit scrapings. So I'm just going to hit this up the right with a bit of Dennis Law, and it'll go something like this. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
It's up the middle.
That's right.
The draw, Dennis Law draw.
Yeah, nice effortless swing though Dean's got.
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
Very comfortable.
Very nice.
Yeah, excellent. Well, go and see it. Go and check it out, the TalkSPORT Golf channel on YouTube now. Tim Vickery still to join us this afternoon. And next up, though, Neil Mellor joins us, formerly of Liverpool, to look ahead to them in action this evening. And we're going to get our first sighting of Alexander Isak, which will be interesting. Get Neil's take on that in a few moments' time. We're here with Tool Station, as always, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next stop, Tool Station.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Yes!
He is an unlocker of defensive depth.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Our commentary game on talkSPORT this evening is Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League over on talkSPORT 2, Bayern Munich v Chelsea. We were just chatting to David Speedy there as part of a great striking duo with Kerry Dixon at Chelsea. And there's been a lot of talk about Isak and the way he slips into the team. I mean, Ekitike and Marmoush were pretty potent at Eintracht together. Played in a very effective too. I'm not saying
the way Liverpool played, it's not a striker. It's the front three are strikers.
Exactly.
You know, so Ekitike, it could be Gakpo. You know, it's that. So
someone can give way. Well, let's get the thoughts of somebody played up front for Liverpool. Neil Mellor joins us. Hi, Neil.
Afternoon, lads.
Where do you see him fitting in? How do you see it working? Do you agree with Andy? He can just sort of slot in at least a couple of those places in the front three.
Yeah, he plays, doesn't he? You know, if he's fully fit. And I think we'll see him tonight, you know, whether he starts or whether he comes on in the second half. I think the fans will be excited to see him. He starts because he's one of the best there is in terms of that number 9. And the players around him as well. You know, at Newcastle, he was the main man. Not necessarily at Liverpool. You know, he's got Salah there, he's got Viets in behind. Ekitike can certainly play as well, whether the two of them play at times towards the end of games rather than start them, and obviously Gakpo down the left. So I'd be surprised if they went with two up top for certain games, but I'd expect to see it last 20 minutes when Liverpool maybe are trying to get a winning goal.
What do you make of Ekitike so far? Have you liked what you've seen?
Yeah, he settled well. Settled well. I think scoring goals for any striker helps. He did that in the Community Shield against Palace. Did it first game of the season against Bournemouth. Did it at Newcastle. So got off to a really good start. And I think that's really important. I think he always knew in the background Isak would come, but Liverpool needed another striker anyway. Liverpool lost some key players over the summer. Tragically, Diogo Jota. Nunes left the football club. Luis Diaz played a lot down the middle last season as well. So Liverpool did have to reinforce, not just with Ekitike, but also with Isak coming in. So there's so many games coming up, lads, that they will rotate and they'll all get the fair share of game time. But if you're asking me who starts as a 9, I think Isak's the main man, isn't he?
Sure.
It's interesting to hear Arne, like I was saying earlier in the show, admit that he's been surprised by Liverpool winning the number of games they've done because he thought it would take longer. And they've scraped the wins, but that's what champions do, isn't it?
I was trying to think, how do you describe the start for Liverpool? I think we're going to go with a great start, but effective, because Liverpool haven't been at the best. There's more to come from Liverpool. There's obviously been a number of new signings coming in, a lot of key players leaving. Mentioned those attacking players, Trent leaving as well. That was a big blow for Liverpool. So it's been a case of this team will keep going and will get better as the new players start to settle in. But there's some tough games. Newcastle away was a tough one. And I reckon that second half at Newcastle was probably the only time this season I could honestly say they've been better. I don't think Arsenal were at Anfield. I think Bournemouth had a small spell at Anfield, but Liverpool were better. And even at Burnley were trying to hold on to a draw. Liverpool were the better side. So that second half at Newcastle was a really tough night for Liverpool. Got over the line in the end.
We know the way that Atletico like to play, especially away from home, so there won't be any surprises. They've lost Julian Alvarez, which is a blow for them. He got injured at the weekend, but they have threats up front as well. But you could easily see, we were saying earlier on, you could easily see this being another long night, tough night for Liverpool, or maybe just nicking it 1-0.
Yeah, I don't think it was too dissimilar to perhaps how Arsenal came to Anfield, trying to make it difficult. I think Atletico have shown that they are very capable consistently and have had some great results. They beat PSG away last year, early on, if I remember rightly, in the Champions League. It'll be a proper test tonight for Liverpool. I'm not expecting it to be a really open, exciting game. Matchday 1, we know what Diego Simeone is all about, and I'm sure he'll be delighted with the draw. For Liverpool, it's about trying to get off to a good start, like they have in the Premier League, try and get off to a good start in the Champions League. There's some tough games coming up for Liverpool in the Champions League. And we don't really know with this new format, where do you need to finish? Liverpool won the Cup last year and ended up playing PSG.
Yeah, that's a good point. A big contrast on the sidelines tonight between Slot, you mentioned Simeone there, they're completely different characters. Should be quite fun watching them.
Yeah, there could be a little camera on them. But yeah, do you know what? I'm excited to see on the pitch as well, because Isak, Wirtz, Salah combining. I'm really excited to see how Liverpool can try and break down Atletico. And the crowd, the atmosphere will be great tonight, European night as well. And no doubt Simeone will be trying to make it as difficult as possible. I thought I saw something. Did they have a little bit of an altercation together when he was at Feyenoord last season?
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, there is that side to Arne Slot. He comes across as fairly zen, but I think he has got a side to him.
I don't think you'd want to cross him.
We saw it with Kirkes the other day when he hauled him off after that dive. He doesn't mess about, does he?
That was good. No player wants to come off in the first half, and he recognised that the next one he could have gone. And how many times do you see a player on a book and you're thinking, why is he not taking him off?
Yeah.
And the manager did, albeit in the first half. Not easy, not nice for Kirkes to experience that. He's a young boy. He's only 21, so he'll learn from that. But that was brave. The manager was brave to do that. And, brilliant first season for him to win the league. I think he'll want to do well in the Champions League. Last year, Liverpool lost to PSG on penalties. I think Liverpool want to have a really good run this year, innit?
Oh, definitely. I'll be interested to see how Wirtz goes, because he's not set the world alight, but then that's the Premier League. It's really hard to adjust.
European football
should suit him.
Yeah, a big game tonight, maybe the pace of it will suit him. Maybe a big sort of statement performance will get him properly going, Neil.
Well, he's a superstar for the age he is. He is an incredible player, shown that in the Bundesliga. He's coming to the Premier League, to English football. He's athletic, he's fit, he's mobile, he wants the ball, he wants to create chances. He's settling into a new side, developing that understanding with Ekitike, Gakpo, Salah, with Isak when he starts playing. There is no worries whatsoever about Florian Wirtz. He's still adjusting, but he is an unbelievable player. I cannot wait to see more of him. So, really excited. There's no struggling at Anfield for me about Wirtz. He is a top-class player.
Excellent. Neil, enjoy the game. All the best.
Cheers, boys.
There we are. Neil Mellor there, former Liverpool striker. That one live, 7 o'clock, all the build-up here on talkSPORT for Liverpool Atletico and Bayern Munich Chelsea over on talkSPORT 2. Jermaine Pennant, former Liverpool player, of course, alongside Rory Jennings on the Sports Bar, taking your calls at 10 o'clock. We'll check in with Guy Swindles watching England play Ireland. Ireland got 196 in their 20 overs. I think that's a pint of Guinness with Phil Sort's name on it, by the way they've gone after him, understandably. Yeah, they're racking up the runs. We'll give you an update on that very shortly. But we'll get the news headlines for you next. And then in the final half hour, we'll join Tim Vickery, get the very latest from the world of South American football.
We're told Jose Mourinho could be unveiled as Benfica's new head coach as early as tomorrow. The editor-in-chief of Portuguese newspaper Record also says Bruno Lage's sacking is not a big surprise. Sergio Cristinas told White and Jordan Benfica's under-pressure president Rui Costa is trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
A big name, a huge name that the fans respect a lot, that will somehow protect and be a shield for him and for his re-election.
Mourinho's first Champions League game at Benfica would be at Stamford Bridge, live on talkSPORT a week on Tuesday. Meanwhile, following Chris Wilder's second homecoming, he's spoken exclusively to White and Jordan on his championship aims at Sheffield United.
First and foremost now is to win a game of football after the disappointing start that has happened, and to win a host of games to try and put yourself in contention in around January and see where it goes. But yeah, listen, we're on the back foot a little bit, but it's a tough division.
Elsewhere, at the World Athletics Championships out in Tokyo, Dina Asher-Smith is through to the semi-finals of the 200 metres along with Amy Hunt and Daryl Neater. Jake Whiteman and Josh Kerr will be hoping for GB's first medals in the 1500 metres this afternoon. And Thomas Partey's pleaded not guilty to charges of rape and sexual assault. He's appeared in court in London just 12 hours after playing for Villarreal at Spurs.
Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT just before our Paddy's Challenge, and Tim Vickery joins us. Yeah, definitely. Salt and Butler, they fancy a drink in the clubhouse. Guy Swindles, who's watching Ireland play England in the first of the 3 T20s. Yeah, they've set about them, it's fair to say, at the moment, Guy, isn't it?
I think that is fair, and they won't be very long getting to the clubhouse if they carry on scoring the way they are at the moment. We thought Ireland had batted really well, 196 for 3 from their 20 overs, setting England a very challenging 197. The England score, we are in the 5th over and they are 74 without loss. Jos Buttler has smashed 28 off 9 balls, 5 balls and a 6. Phil Salters raced on to 45 from 18 balls with 5 balls and 3 sixes. It really has been astonishing hitting from these two, and at the moment the target is coming down very, very quickly. England need 123 runs to win in 92 balls and are well on their way, though they have lost Butler, who has just gone for 28, trying to launch the spinner Humphreys over mid-on. Didn't get all of it, and he has been caught at long on. So a first wicket, and England now 74 for 1. 123 needed from 92, and Butler's wonderful mini innings has finished.
Thanks very much, Guy. We'll pop back to Guy a little bit later on. But now it's time for this.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksbee and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Yes, time now for Paddy's Challenge, our quiz for charity in association with our friends and official betting partner, Paddy Power. In Paddy's Challenge, we put our knowledge of the wonderful world of sport to the test with a chance of raising lots of Shran-nominated charities. I'm playing for the Sporting Memories Network, and Andy is raising funds for Deshen UK. As always, our quiz master, shortly to open a new graveyard, I understand, is Ben Fletcher, the king of overnights. Good afternoon, Fletch.
Very good afternoon. Yes, you were obviously listening on Sunday morning when a chat about why is it that you never see a new cemetery. All cemeteries all seem to be Victorian or maybe older, and then it ended up being a competition between listeners to submit the most recently
Britain's newest cemetery.
And
Brinton Wilson,
frantic.
are you listening?
Yeah, it was absolutely frantic, and in the end, I think we gave away a signed copy of Alan Brazil's autobiography.
What, in a cemetery chat? Not sure he's going to be keen about that.
No, it was the nearest book that we could reach.
Okay.
I carefully sourced prices on the Weekend show, but I'll come on to that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for the plug.
No problem.
In the meantime, Paddy's Challenge will each be asked 3 multiple-choice questions posed by the voice of Paddy Power, Alistair McGowan. The winner is the player that scores the most points in the event of a tie. You'll both win the chance to raise some cash for your charities. Paul won last week and backed Not Forest's Morgan Gibbs-White to score in the Premier League meeting with Arsenal. On the day, a 3-0 win for the Gunners, so no victory there. Let's see if we can raise some more cash.
He had a good chance, don't you remember?
Yes,
he had that
he did.
chance.
Yeah,
He stuck round the post. He wasn't very happy about it. Okay.
The virtual coin toss has taken place off air. I can confirm it will be Paul that's going first on this occasion. So if the highly paid technical department are ready. Nobody in junior middle management watching him today. They must still be out for lunch. Or Joe's birthday celebrations. One of the two.
Oh, okay, nice.
Happy birthday, Joe. Paul, here comes your first question.
Marvellous.
It was another bad day at the office for Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim, as the Red Devils lost 3-0 in the Manchester derby last weekend. Of the 31 games he's been in charge for, how many have United won? A, 10, B, 9, or C, 8?
I think it's 8, isn't it?
Good one.
Yeah,
Well done.
I think it is. That stat's been doing the rounds, hasn't it, really?
Another stat you won't have heard, United's worst start since the 92-93 campaign.
Yeah.
I think that's a new one as well.
Yeah.
So 1-0 Paul. Andy, here's a chance for an equaliser.
Manchester City's goal-scoring machine Erling Haaland struck twice in a 3-0 Premier League thrashing of Manchester United last Sunday. It capped off a wonder week, as he also scored multiple times for Norway in their 11-0 demolition of Moldova. Exactly how many goals did Haaland score in that game? A, 5, B, 6, or C, 7?
I know it's not 7. I know it's between 5 and 6. I'll go 5, I'm not sure.
1 point to Andy.
Ooh,
Absolutely right. He scored his 50th goal in his 50th home Premier League game for City. In the competition's history, only Alan Shearer required fewer home appearances, 47, to hit 50 goals. One for the pub quiz, if you still get invited to those. I don't. Paul, here's your second question.
Yeah.
Mo Salah's stoppage time penalty strike against Burnley created a new Premier League record, as Liverpool have now scored a winning goal in the final 10 minutes of how many matches in a row? A, 3, B, 4, or C, 5?
Isn't it 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely right. Salah.
Martin Yole there, he's doing.
Indeed. He's now scored 35 league penalties for the club. Salah breaking Billy Liddell's record, or Liddell's record.
Liddell.
Which, Liddell.
About the only thing he did in the game, mine, but there we go.
A record which stood since the 1960s. So there we go. So, Andy, pressure's back on you. 2-1 down. Here comes your second question.
Liverpool's victory over Burnley last weekend marked how many consecutive games in which Arne Slot's Reds have scored? A, 38, B, 28, or C, 48?
I think it's 38.
Pick that one out.
Absolutely. Well, this is turning into an all-time classic. This wasn't the only bit of history in the match. Salah's strike was his 188th in the competition, moving him ahead of Andrew Cole. I remember the days when he was Andy Cole, and up into 4th in the league's all-time list. So it's 2 apiece. Effective sudden death, figuratively speaking. Paul, here comes your third question.
You and your cemeteries.
Yeah. Obsessed.
Yeah.
In the MLS last weekend, Lionel Messi had a rare failure from the penalty spot against Charlotte in a shock 3-0 defeat for Inter Miami. Messi's miss is his first since being denied in a World Cup Group C game in 2022 against which team? A, Poland, B, Mexico, or C, Saudi Arabia?
God, who did he miss the pen against?
Well, they lost the game, didn't they? They lost their...
Poland seems to be screaming at me, and although I'm probably wrong, I'm going to go with Poland.
3 out of 3, back of the net,
very
bravo!
good work.
Absolutely right. Charlotte have now won 9 consecutive MLS games. They've tied Seattle Sounders' winning streak from 7 years ago. They'll hope to take the record with a win against NYC FC next weekend. So 3 out of 3 for Paul. Andy, the pressure very much on you now. Here comes your third and final question.
In the Women's Super League, Chelsea beat Aston Villa at Villa Park last weekend. Who scored the last of Chelsea's goals in the match? A, Sam Kerr, B, Aggie Beaver-Jones, or C, Villa's Missy Kearns with an own goal?
Sam Kerr.
Yeah.
Good one.
Absolutely right.
First goal, didn't she?
Sam Kerr's first goal after 20 months on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So, a tightly fought contest, 3-3. I can't remember the last time we had one of those in the 5-year history of this great competition.
Not many times.
It will quite. Paddy's giving you both a £10 free bet. It just remains for me to ask, what are you both going to go for?
I'm going to go Wirtz to score or assist any time. I think you can have a good night tonight for Liverpool.
Live on talkSPORT.
And in his 45 minutes, I'm going for Isak, 1 or more shots on target.
How about that? Well, we'll see how you get on and reveal the outcome next week.
Fletch, thank you very much. You're back overnight, early hours of Saturday morning, aren't
Yes,
you?
1 a.m. on Saturday, looking ahead to the Merseyside derby. We'll be going back to Lanzarote, the club that we're supporting in the low reaches of the Spanish League this season. Loads going on, outer space, probably giving away another book, probably more cemetery chat. Love the ice cream chat earlier.
Yeah, you may pick up... Henry Winter's been in touch. I said, do ice cream vans play like different songs? They play Wonderwall.
Oh, yeah.
Henry said, surely Wonderwalls.
Wonderwalls, absolutely.
That's why he's on the big bus.
Was it Oh Sol Mio? That's the one I remember.
Oh, Sole Mio. Yeah. Green Sleeves.
Yeah. Green Sleeves was another one.
Yeah.
Straining over the Surrey
Some of the,
hillside.
now, that's what I call ice cream sound. What did you call them? What was the phrase you used? Distinctive tinkle.
Distinctive tinkling.
Yeah, that's right. Distinctive tinkling of an ice cream van.
I'm off for one of those after this feature.
Marvellous.
I know, we all are.
Thank you, Fletch.
Cheers, thank you,
There we
guys.
are. That was another Paddy's challenge there. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
We're going to be chatting to Tim Vickery very shortly over in... I suddenly forgot his surname. Only about... We've known him for about 25 years. Tim Vickery's going to join us in a moment.
You won't like that.
All the latest... Oh, no. Just a minor slip. All the latest from the world of South American football, including a Brazilian goalkeeper, not particularly covering himself in glory, as has been the case in recent years at the Lane last night. Yes, we're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. Next up, Tool Station.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans that's done by the fans.
He is an unlocker of defences. That.
If you've got a problem or something to say, you don't have the right to say anything about trophies. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Now, don't miss your last chance to enter our biggest competition ever, £25,000 cash tickets to see Oasis live at Wembley on Saturday, the 27th of September 2025. You've got until 9 a.m. this Friday to enter. Here's how.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word Oasis to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Time then to head to Rio to talk South American football with Tim Vickery. Hi, Tim.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Just a quick question, Paul.
Yeah.
Did yesterday did Foyt get a good reception when he came back?
Do you know what? They kind of they didn't make a big deal of it when they announced the names of the Villarreal players, and so he didn't get a round of applause. It wasn't a welcome back. Because they tend not to do that.
What a lovely run he had.
But when he kind of came in our vicinity, there was a good few people giving him a round of applause. Everybody was saying the same thing before, that he was a really good player. He probably came to us a little bit young. He was very nice about the club yesterday, saying Tottenham gave him a chance. And I always thought there was a player there. Definitely thought there was a player. And he's definitely trained on. He looked very good, I thought.
And I think he's got a chance of getting in that Argentina squad. He's been back just recently. And if you look at the one area that's a worry for them, it's the same defensive unit as the last World Cup. Otamendi's suspended for the first game, and I think he's got every chance of getting back in.
Oh, wow, good stuff. Now, we've often, in recent years anyway, maybe not in the past, Tim, but in recent years we've talked up the quality of Brazilian goalkeepers. But we saw Luis Junior, poor old Luis Junior last night, had an absolute shocker, didn't he, with the one. Has that been shown on Brazilian TV today?
Yeah, and the game was on, but not a lot because no one's ever heard of him.
No.
Who is he? No one's ever heard of him. And again, I can flip this one back. And the quantity of goalkeepers that they're producing. We played. I can't remember now, but Tottenham played a German team towards back end of last year's successful Europa League run, and they had a Brazilian goalkeeper, big Brazilian goalkeeper who did very well. No one's ever heard of him. So. The country that never used to produce good goalkeepers is now an absolute mass producer.
So they went. True. When they had that great team in the 70s and even in the 82 team, they never had a good keeper, did they? It was always suspect.
No. That was Santos at Eintracht, wasn't it? Was that the
one?
Kid? Yeah,
that's the one.
Right.
Yeah, big fella.
I suppose they go off to Europe straight away, played very minor league football in Brazil, and they just head straight off to Europe. Yeah.
Well, this is true not just of goalkeepers. This is true of so many players who are coming through and getting into the Brazil squad now. It's a bit of a problem, because the home audience don't know them.
Yeah.
Really don't know them. And it's not that long ago. It's well within our lifetimes, gentlemen. Within probably half of our lifetimes, that Brazil didn't pick anyone who didn't play outside Brazil. It started to change. That they tried it for the 66 World Cup for Amanildo and he got injured. But apart from that, there were two players in the 82 World Cup squad, and that was the first time they'd ever done it.
Wow.
And now you look at the squad and almost all of them are based abroad.
Yeah, we're going to have a chat about Angel Di Maria, who's still doing the business.
Yes, I think in his own quiet way, I think he's one of the greats, one of the true greats. Because he's such a big occasion player, and he's all right. I'm at Real Madrid when it's Cristiano Ronaldo's side. No worries, I'll do whatever's needed. I'm with the Argentina national team, and it's all about Lionel Messi. No worry, I'll do whatever's needed, and I'll be the decisive one more often than not. And he's gone back home where it all started, Rosario Central. 7 games unbeaten. He's scored 4 goals, almost all the goals that they've scored. He got the winner in the big local derby a couple of weeks back. And Sunday, the visit of Boca Juniors, they've just gone 1 down. And he's only gone and scored from a corner. He's only gone and equalised straight from a corner. Called an Olympic goal over here, and it should get a gold medal as well. And on and on and on he goes.
He was good in the Club World Cup for Benfica. I noticed him, they played Chelsea, and he really stood out as he's a special player. I agree with you.
He retired from international football when they won the Copa America last year, and again he was the star turn in the final. But the coach Scaloni, I think he would love to have him back. Come back, because the people who are supposed to kick on and the big one who was supposed to be the Di Maria replacement, giving him that one-on-one down the flanks, was Garnacho, who maybe Chelsea can recuperate him. I don't know, but they've got so many players. How's he going to fit in?
No, he'll get plenty of games for Chelsea. Don't worry about that.
Will he?
Yeah.
Right. So he'll have a chance, but there must be a temptation for it, now that Di Maria is just tearing it up in front of an Argentine crowd, and he's being the main man. I've never seen ever a player with his unbelievable world-class talent have no ego. I've never seen it before, but now he is the main man back at Rosario Central. I wonder if Scaloni can play that and say, come back for one last start of the World Cup. Why not? Where's the harm?
Well, maybe Messi will be there. Christian Romero was asked about him in the build-up to the Villarreal game. Will he go to the World Cup? And he said, if he's fit, I think he could easily take part. It's his decision. We all enjoy playing with him. We all enjoy watching him play. So it seems the team are still behind him, understandably. So we've still got no steer on whether that's going to happen or not.
No, I think it probably will, but he's trying to keep his options open. I mean, the big thing for him, I think, is it's not all about him anymore, which takes the pressure off him. They've played some of their best football now without him. So it means that it's not now Messi and his fan club. They've got options, and I think that probably helps.
Tim, we've talked about Rodrigo getting game time at Real Madrid. Yeah. Now Vinicius is struggling a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Vinicius, he was on the bench yesterday, and I don't know what Xabi Alonso is going to do with this. I don't know how he's going to play both of them. The problem came last season, and if Mbappe can ever be thought of as a problem, because Ancelotti, he had his team and he worked out his team. And then they went and bought Mbappe, and how am I going to fit him in? How am I going to fit? And unless you try and smuggle 12 on the field and hope the referee never notices, someone has to pay the price. And more often than not, it's been Rodrigo. I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't make the move in the transfer window. And there was speculation there, and was it going to be City? And if he came to City, then Savinho would go to Tottenham, but it ended up not happening. But I can't see how they can keep them both happy forever. Now that Mbappe's there and Mbappe has to play the big games, both of them want to play left wing. And Rodrigo does not want to play right wing. And more often than not this season in the league, he's been on the bench. You can't keep them happy forever. So this is a problem for Real Madrid and a problem for Brazil as well, with 9 months ago at the World Cup.
Very, very, very quickly. Nice cameo from Kevin. I know he's came from Shakhtar.
Yeah.
He looked good, and he got a rave review for his little performance.
He was at Palmeiras. He was behind Luis Guilherme in the queue. Luis Guilherme went straight to West Ham. They've hardly got a thing out of him. And I think that was a case of too much too soon. West Ham have been complaining about not having enough money to sign players. Had they not spent 25 million on him, they'd have more money to spend on players. Kevin went to Shakhtar, and was a star there, and has moved step by step by step. So I wonder, gentlemen, if there's a lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, we'll leave it there. I'll catch up with you next week. All the best.
Look forward to it. Cheers.
Tim Vickery there, our man on South American football. So, big night of football this evening on talkSPORT. It's Liverpool, Atletico Madrid at 7 o'clock build-up. And that's at Anfield, of course, on talkSPORT. And then Bayern Munich, Chelsea over on talkSPORT too. Get your calls into Jermaine Pennant and Rory Jennings at 10 in the sports bar after those matches. And building up to it over the next 3 hours will be Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent on Champions League Drive. I'll be back with Charlie Baker tomorrow. Andy will join us for the spread. Until then, enjoy the football tonight. Have a good evening.